It's a very exciting story. It's way more exciting than any video game that you're going to go through or any Netflix. The Prophet ﷺ said that when Adam was not there, jinns took arms against the angels, and angels were led by a jinn. Jews do not have the sayings of Moses A.S., Musa A.S. as a book. Christians do not have sayings of Jesus A.S. as a book. Muslims have more than 350,000 written hadiths in books which are in every Muslim household. Which mommy knew that at which age I'm going to install the Prophet ﷺ, the Muslim identity, and the efficacy of the Quran, and then the Quran? Did you do the math on age? None of the Sahabis, none would have gotten married if a current Pakistani Indian Muslim woman were to choose their husbands. हर चीज़ बता देता हूँ अंग्रेजी में, ये जो जुमला उर्दू में बोल दूंगा. नॉटिंगहैम में मुझसे पूछा था, सर आज इकबाल याद पे लेक्चर दें, इकबाल की खुदी सिखाएं. And I said, सर इकबाल की खुदी हर एक को मिल सकती है, हर एक जगह पे आ सकती है, मगर इकबाल की खुदी वेलफेयर पे नहीं आ सकती. A square plus B square plus 2AB, right? Can anyone tell me where this formula is applied in your real lives? That's the problem. You're not going to make it. I'm telling you, if you're not going to apply all of it, because it says in the Quran, apply all of it. Qaraba means like this. This is Qaraba. Hold on. This is Qaraba. This is how some people are going to be with Allah Azza wa Jal. Hugging Him. That's what you get when you uphold your belief against the tide. Okay? My objective is called IMS. The boy was talking about this. Come together, all Muslims. Become one organism. You are the problem. You're not the solution. You are so distant from Jannah if you were not for the community. There was a time when every gay or a lesbian, once discovered, would have to be hospitalized. Okay? Still, a Pakistani crossing a street of Manchester, whenever any white man says, hey, you know what? You speak really good English. The Pakistani, you know what he does? He feels good. In Bradford, a little boy asks, will I go to hell because I did not do anything about Palestine? Because most Muslim clerics are not on a high purpose. They're all about you and your family. Our Chief of Army Staff does not believe that it is an Islamic duty to help and go to protect wherever Muslims are being persecuted. He does not believe in that Islam. Roshan, if he makes a mistake and if he gets away with it because you approve of that mistake, you've killed his esteem. You made a self-loving pharaoh out of him. Okay? There are 4 categories. يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتٍ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمْهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ. 4 different categories you're going to work on.
On that note, I'd like to invite Sahil Adeem to the stage. He's come a long way for us and for our children. Let's make sure Brother Sahil doesn't be here and candid. Not with an applause, but with...
Sure.
So we have here Sarah Yasir, Ratan Yasir, and Jannah Yasir. So please go ahead with your question.
Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullah. What's your name? Zainab. Okay. How do you spell that?
Z-A-R-N-A-B.
Zainab.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And my friend is why is there a day of judgment?
Why is there a day of judgment? Okay. What's the next question?
Next question, how will Allah decide whether you go to hell or heaven?
How will He decide who goes to hell or heaven? Okay.
Next question is, how will Allah...
Who wrote these questions for you? You wrote them yourself? Let me see. That's how you write? You're going to become a doctor, yeah? Yeah, I can't read. Go on.
Then how will the angel on something that would Allah?
How will the what now?
The angels on the soldiers.
How will they do what?
Get the geek or Allah.
What's she saying?
He books to Allah. How will they give RD books to Allah?
How will they give the deeds, the records? How old are you? 7? 6?
8.
You're 8?
You shouldn't take this book. Yeah, like a week ago.
Okay. So how are they going to give the deeds? Look at me. How are they going to give the deeds? What does that mean?
Like she means when the day of judgment happens.
How do you know what she means?
And because she explained it to our mom before.
Let her explain to me. What do you mean? What's your name? Sir. What's your name?
I'm Roshan.
Roshan. Let her make the mistakes, okay? Let her make all the mistakes. Jannah, what do you mean, how did they give the deeds? What do you want to know? Jannah, is this your own question? Yeah, then talk to me about this, yes? Okay, what's your next question? It's all right. It's a lot of public, man. It's all right. She ate. Jannah, anything else?
Why is there a puppet?
Why is there a prophet? That's the best question. That's the best question. Why are there so many prophets? Okay. But yeah, what is the need of a prophet, right? Yeah, okay. That's it? That's all the questions? Those are all the questions? Are you sure?
Yeah.
When did you think of these questions? Yesterday? So somebody told you to think of questions? No. I want to talk to you a lot, okay? Today I'm going to talk to you a lot. Okay? You're just as old as my own daughter. She asks these questions a lot. A lot. Okay? She's passed through 3 questions. These questions, she's up to other questions now, which you are going to too. Okay? Can you hear me properly?
Yeah.
Can you? Oh, okay. So, who else has more questions? Let me answer all of them. Okay? I'm going to answer all of your questions. Yes, sir. Your name is Roshan. You're how old?
I'm 10 years old.
You're 10. What's your name? Roshan. Roshan is 10. Jannah is 8. Okay, yeah.
What is the main reason for skipping Salah nowadays, especially children? Because nowadays, Salah has been seen as like a side event, which is optional. What is the main reason for that, do you think?
Because people do not know the answers to Zainab's questions. Yeah, no. Think about it. Think about what I just told you. Process it. If people knew the answers of her questions, they would not miss a salah. No, let's imagine that, okay? So there are 2 angels here, okay? They're not? The 2 angels. They're in total love with us, okay? They're all smiling at us. Okay, now? Okay? So, this angel on my left, whenever I do anything wrong, he doesn't write anything. He looks at the other angel. In amazement, he goes into shock. Ask me why. Yeah. So why would I go into shock when you would hit your brother? Why? If you were to ever hit your brother, I would go into shock, right? Why? Okay, I'm going to make it easy. If I were to hit your brother, would you go into shock? Yeah, why? Because you love your brother, right? Yeah, that's exactly why he goes into shock. Okay? So when he goes into shock, he looks at the boss angel. This is the boss angel. And he asks, should I? And this angel does not say anything. And then he asks again, should I write it down? Because Allah told me to write it down. Right? Yeah. So then this angel nods at him like this. Hold on. Wait, do not write anything down. Okay, think what's going on. So, if I do anything good, and this guy is just holding on to his pen, right? He has not written, let me just, give me, no, not this. This is one of, he's holding on to this, and this. And this guy is not writing anything. He's just looking at the other angel, the right angel, okay? That's literally what's going on. So next time I do anything good, then the boss angel smiles at this angel and he says, now write this down. Okay? So he says, but he missed the salah. I got to write something down. And he says, how much does he owe you now? He says, okay, he owes me 10 credits. And then he says, okay, this good thing that he did, how much do you owe him now? And he said, I owe him about 20. Okay? Then this guy says, okay, do the math, just write 10. 10 good things. You get it? That's how it's going on. So this deed, this book, and you haven't left any single page, have you? What do? Just draw lines? Like, what's this? So, here, this is the bad things. These are the good things. This guy was waiting up on writing something, right? But he did not, this angel did not let anything go down this left side. And here it was supposed to be 20. He said, well, you had this, you had to write 10. So instead, just write 10. And do not write anything here. This keeps on going on and on and on until something else happens. Something else happens, and this angel, the right angel, the boss angel, he says to this angel, look at me, no, this is serious stuff. He says, from now on, do not write anything good. And this angel says, why? What happened now? What changed? Zanab, you're 8, you're going to get this now, okay? So nothing good is going to go on, and everything bad that I do is going to be written down. Maybe even multiply by 10. So this angel gets confused. He says, oh, what changed all of a sudden? Then this angel says, because now this man had stopped to feel any remorse. Do you know what remorse is? Yeah. Ask your big brother, what is remorse? How old are you?
10.
You're 10? What's remorse?
So it's like...
No, explain it to her. On the microphone. Remorse. What is remorse?
Remorse is basically like when you feel like sorry for someone.
No, keep it close to you.
Is it like when you feel like sorry for someone?
Yeah, that's not for someone, for yourself. For you in front of God, right? That's remorse. That's a disappointment in your own self. Okay? So when you feel disappointed, this angel does not let this angel write anything. But you stop feeling disappointed in any bad thing, then nothing good gets written down. Okay? Now that's how they write down. But that's not your question. Your question was way more interesting. Your question was, how are they going to give it to Allah Azza wa Jal? Right? Yeah, so Prophet ﷺ actually told us the answer to this question. That's why it's such a wonderful question. There is a certain medium on which, you have iPad, right? Yeah, you have Roblox, right? You don't have Roblox? Mm-hmm.
No, we actually don't.
Okay, but you have an iPad, right?
Yeah.
Did you connect to the internet? How does your iPad know that it's connected to the internet? Think. The iPad is just a machine. How does it know that it's connected to the internet? You're going to grow into it and you're going to find out, okay? It's written about in the books, okay? So just like that, whatever you're writing down and somebody else in Pakistan is reading your messages in your family, right? Just like that. These messages that you write down here in Manchester, they get sent to Pakistan from the air, right? That air carries those messages. Okay? So when the Prophet ﷺ said, these angels are writing in the air, those people who did not believe him started laughing at him. He said, how can anything be written in the air? Now that we have the iPads and the internet, we know how things are written in the air, right? Because you chat here, somebody reads somewhere else. This message goes through the air. It's called OTA, over the air. Okay? Yeah, just like you call someone in Pakistan, you say something here, they hear there. How does that voice go there without any wire? Via the internet. Yeah, exactly. So these angels, they're actually writing in the air. way more stronger than paper. It's not going to go anywhere. No wind or no nothing, no temperature, no weather. Okay? On the day of judgment, these records are going to start from our shoulders. They're going to go up in the heavens. And we can actually read exactly what we did because they're writing everything down. We can go through our whole life story by reading whatever we did. So strings will be going. Literally, you could see the strings. Okay? Pretty exciting, actually. Okay? So those strings will be scrolled like this on the day of judgment. And every scroll will be combined. 2 scrolls, right? They will be combined. And Allah in the Quran says, people will be looking up in the heavens. Because those scrolls are going to come back, right? So Allah says that those scrolls will be thrown back to every human being. But they will be thrown back in such a precise manner that it's going to go either on your left hand or your right hand. Okay? So people will be queued up. Those scrolls will be thrown either on the right or the left. And Allah in the Quran says, literally, this is the wording of Allah, that if you do not get it in your right hand, then you're going to go to hell. But if you get it on your right hand, you will see bounties, the word that this brother used, the bounties of Allah Azza wa Jal. And everyone will go into heaven. Okay? Right hand, the boss hand. See, that's how important this guy is, this angel. He does not let anybody write so that the balance on this side goes heavier and heavier. And at that day, our scroll fall on this angel's side. Right? You get it?
Yeah.
You see the picture now? Yeah, keep those pictures alive, okay? Yeah. So, why is there a prophet? That is why I came here. So I'm going to talk a lot about this. Listen very carefully. Of why is there a need of any prophet to come to the human planet and change everything. Okay? Because the last prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, has come and gone. Now there is a need of a prophet. Everyone is actually waiting for it. Okay? Everyone's waiting for a prophet, but there is no more prophets. So the Prophet said, well, I'm gone. And you need a prophet. And no more prophet is going to come. So I give all those Arnabs the job of a prophet now. Yeah, exciting, isn't it? Yeah. So you got to learn what is a prophet and why a prophet comes so that you can do the job. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference between any Christian or a Jewish guy or a Muslim. Because a Muslim man or a girl is on the job of a prophet. Okay? The Jewish men were waiting, were told to wait. Because more prophets are about to come. The Christians were told, wait. You're not ready yet. The prophet is about to come. But Muslims are told, now you cannot wait because no more prophet is going to come. Now every one of you has the job of a prophet without being a prophet. Do the job. Okay? So what is the job? I'll tell you. That's the job. Okay? Focus. Did I miss any question? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Wasn't your first question, why is there a day of judgment? Yeah. So I missed the question. I missed the question on purpose so that you can challenge me. You can stand up and say, hey, whoa, you came from all the way from Pakistan. This is Manchester, okay? You cannot miss out on any question. I'm 8. Okay? Don't let anyone take you easy, okay? Here you go. Let me answer the first question, because it takes a little bit of a build-up for people to realize why there's such a big day of judgment, okay? It's a very, very interesting day. Most exciting day ever. 50,000 50,000 years worth of just one day. Okay? I'm going to talk about this. G, more questions? Oh, yes, sir.
I asked him my first question, but I think he already answered it. It was, what was the meaning of skipping salah nowadays?
No, I didn't answer it.
He said, because they don't know the answer.
Yeah, why don't they know the answer? That should be your first follow-up, right? Yeah, okay. I'll tell you why they don't know the answer. Why they choose not to know the answer. Okay? You're 10? You go to school?
Yeah.
You play football?
Yes.
You have friends? Sort of.
Yeah.
At 10, you have to have plenty of friends, man.
And teammates.
Yeah, they're friends. Yeah. So how many hours do you spend outside the home after you go to school?
I reckon around.
You reckon?
One.
You reckon? Around what?
Around 1.5 because.
In school?
No, outside of school.
In school, in total?
In school we have 1 hour and 15 minutes of playtime.
Let me make it simple. When do you go to school?
8:40 in the morning.
Okay. That's when you reach school.
Yeah.
Yeah. When do you go to school?
I go to school on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
What time in the morning do you go to school?
8:40.
So you have a transport beam? You transport from your home to your school?
No, I walk.
Okay. So you start at about 8 and you reach there at 40, right?
No, I start at 8:35.
Oh, so you're that close?
Yeah.
Okay. So what time do you come home? With the football and everything?
We usually have to pick up our sister first, so around 3:15.
3 o'clock?
Yeah.
8 hours in school?
6. 6.
6? Oh, 8:40. Yeah, 9. Okay. So 9 to 3, you're in school. That's more than your dad spends at job.
Not really.
What time does he go to work?
6 a.m.
Really? When did he come home? Where's your father? Who's your father?
8 p.m. He's not here right now. He's at work.
What time does he come home?
8 p.m. Maybe.
8 p.m.?
Latest case 11 p.m.
And you're asleep by then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on what day. Sometimes we're waiting for him because.
Because you gotta buy something.
No. Because he says that he's got something for someone waiting for him, and he says he wants to tell us something.
So 6 a.m. to 11-ish.
That's like the worst case. Yeah.
Is he lying? Did you say he's lying?
I said worst case.
Are these your kids? So your kids can lie in public like that, and you're telling them that they're to be blamed.
So I said worst case.
I know you're right, man. You're right. Worst case. You said she didn't hear it. Don't worry about it. You're not lying. Okay. On average, what time does he come home?
He usually comes home around 5 o'clock to pick us up from mosque, and then sometimes he goes home again, and sometimes he goes work again.
It's okay. Let her scream. Yeah. Don't shut down my Muslim kids.
And then sometimes he goes work again, and then after that he comes home at 8.
So on average, man, give me a time on the clock, buddy.
5 o'clock.
5. Okay, so 6 to 5. You know what he does? Do you know what he does for? You know. Is it hard?
Sometimes half. He does half and half. Half basically.
Rushan? Next question.
How does your environment, your brain, and your mindset affect how you think about Islam?
Yeah, that's why I was asking about the dad's routine, buddy, and yours, because that's called the environment, right? Yeah, I'm gonna open it up right now. Actually, I'm gonna explain to you how an environment makes all of what your life choices are. It shouldn't, but it does. It shouldn't, but it does. Okay? What does? Environment. I'm going to keep an eye on you, buddy, for the next 10 years. Something big should come from you, inshallah, okay? You're quick off the... you got a good pickup. Very rare in Muslims. Inshallah.
We're studying for an exam right now, so we hope to get... in the school we're going to, you have to pass an exam, and right now we're studying for it, so inshallah we're going to make it, and they do advanced education rather than normal high schools.
Are you good at studies?
Yes.
You're top of your group?
Yeah, group.
What are you studying? What's your favorite subject?
Favorite subjects. So that's maths.
Maths? So what is A plus B whole square equals to? A plus B whole square.
We're not sure about whole square yet.
Oh, you haven't started algebra yet? Are you not in grade 5th?
We are in year 5.
You're not studying algebra?
Algebra. In English, algebra is like high school.
Really? I wonder why they're getting all the Fields Medal then. So let's ask them. A plus B whole squared is? A squared plus B squared plus 2AB, right? No, that's not the question that you asked. Now we're going to ask the real question. This is a formula in algebra, like 101. That's like the first thing you learn. Can anyone tell me where this formula is applied in your real lives? That's the problem. You understand me? Doesn't matter whether you're passing or failing in a grade or up or down. If you do not know the application, you're a failure. So you're going to study algebra or trigonometry or any kind of maths, okay, arithmetic right now. You just ask the teacher, tell me or show me how this is going to be visible in my real life. Apply this for me. And you're going to fall in love with mathematics. That's the only difference between a Muslim and anybody else right now. They know the Quran, they know the formula of the Quran, they do not know how to apply it. That's why when that brother was reciting the Quran, nobody understood it. Everybody knew what he's going to say next. Nobody knew what it meant. So everybody knows what A squared plus B squared plus 2AB is, but nobody knows what it actually means. You got it?
Yeah.
So if I recite the Quran and you say, hey, listen, dude, bro, that's what you call it, right, bro?
Since I call each other, yeah.
Bro, yeah. So bro, apply this for me. Because if I cannot apply the Quran, the meaning in your life or my own life, or show it to you right there, right in Manchester, right there. If I cannot apply the Quran right there in front of you, you're like, well, then this is no good for me. Okay? So Zanab, that's the job of the Prophet. He applies the Quran right in front of you. Zanab, forget about it. Let things go. Think what I'm saying, okay? How many do you have?
4.
Okay.
I'm on my last one.
Sure.
In Surah Al-Waqi'ah, ayat verse 14, he says that in Jannah will be a multitude of the earlier generation and fewer of the later generation. And he explains the main reason why
because they do not have the Quran. They did not have the Quran. That's why. They did whatever they could. They applied the algebra without learning it. You understand me? Without the Quran, they did whatever they could. And after the Quran, things are tough. You got to do all of it. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. I'm telling you, if you're not going to apply all of it. Because it says in the Quran, apply all of it. Okay?
Yeah.
Fully. The word is fully. So before the Quran, there are two generations, right? Before the Quran, in pre-Quran and post-Quran. Post-Quran, less people going in Jannah. Okay, well, it's not about Jannah. It's about Muqarrabeen. The word is Muqarrabeen in there, okay? Muqarrabeen is a totally different species. You know what that is? Muqarrabeen, have you heard the word?
I think I've heard it in lectures, but I don't really know what I use.
So that's not your question then?
No. In Surah Al-Waqi'ah it says, في جنات النعيم, and
أولئك المقربين. That's it, right next. Right?
it's the one before it, yeah.
Yeah, so who are the Muqarrabeen? The word Muqarrab in Arabic says it itself. That's such a beautiful, delicious language. The word itself explains its own self. Okay? Qaraba means like this. Come here. This is Qaraba. Hold on. This is Qaraba. This is how some people are going to be with Allah Azza wa Jal, hugging Him.
So those close to him,
Hugging, use the word.
and those hugging him.
Yeah. That's what Allah Azza wa Jal is saying. That some of Muslims are going to reach that level. Most of the Muqarrabeens are not going to be from the Quran. As shocked as you are, everybody was shocked when the Prophet ﷺ told them. Every Sahabi was like, "Oh Rasulullah, not from amongst us." He says, "No, not from amongst us." Well, some, handful. Now, at 10, your job should be, who are those guys? What did they do?
I know a few Sahabi.
Yeah, but imagine, what is it that a man can do, or a woman, to go to that level?
Live by Allah's book,
Not just live by it,
apply it,
not just apply it. What else? Come on, hit me.
and like read by it, like, and use it as a base of their life, like
That's called apply, okay? That's application. What else?
learn it.
That way before applying it.
I'm not sure.
Make everybody else apply it. You see? That's the big project. Okay? So before the Quran, people without even knowing the Quran did whatever the Quran has to demand. People did it. From Adam alayhi salam's first generation till the last man who was born right before Prophet ﷺ. Okay? There was this guy, his name was Zad. His name was Zad. Oh, you want this? You just put it here. Okay. And the Prophet ﷺ had not declared his prophethood yet. Everybody knew him. Everybody knew him. Okay. His son became one of the top 10 people of Islam. Okay. His name is Sayyid bin Zaid. So this guy Zad was an old man. Okay. And he was roaming around every single day. He used to come into the Kaaba, roaming around, grabbing people who were bowing to the idols, right? Just throw away the idols. People used to beat him up. Everybody used to gang up. And he started explaining to how human beings cannot do this petty little thing, bowing down to a stone. People used to beat him up every day. A lot of times he used to be hospitalized, became healthy, comes back, does the same thing. But he was such a big man, was such a strong man with a lot of connections. People didn't kill him. Otherwise, they would have, and they did kill for way less. So for all his life, he did this. And then he died. He died. After his death, the Prophet ﷺ declared his prophethood, right? Now, this guy was not a Muslim because he did not,
Take the Shahada.
nor did he know, because Prophet ﷺ did not declare it. So his son, Sa'id, he says, "O Rasulullah, what will be of my father?" The Prophet ﷺ said, because everybody knew this guy's dad, right? All the people who had any kind of IQ used to love this guy because he was challenging everybody. There was one guy, old man, all his life. His son, obviously his son had to be that guy, right? Because he was raising his own son. So his son became the top guy. So he said, "What will happen to my father?" And the Prophet ﷺ said, "Say, do you know that on the day of judgment, every prophet will have his own people standing in front of Allah Azza wa Jal, whoever followed him, right? Every prophet." So Sa'id says, "Ya Rasulullah, but my father did not believe in any prophet." He said, "Yeah, I know." So every prophet will have his own people. And then you will see this one guy standing as a people of his own, an ummah of one guy. You understand me?
Yeah.
This guy will represent an ummah of his own. Just one guy. No prophet, just a regular guy. That's what you get when you uphold your belief against the tide. When everyone is doing the wrong thing and you're the only guy who's standing for the right, for the truth, regardless of what they do to you, you stand for your principles, your belief. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Sayyid, your father is an ummah of one man. He will be standing alone." That's the honor Allah is going to give him.
Yeah, I understand.
You know what Muqarrabeen looks like?
Yeah.
Now you know how to be a Muqarrabeen. Yeah, tough job. Yes, sir. Walaikum salam.
So, I have just like 3 questions, but there's something that's been on my mind for quite a bit of time. So there's one thing that once I saw this person, he wanted to join a group because he thought that was cool, and then
That was cool?
yeah,
You use this word cool now?
yeah.
I told you this generation didn't get that cool word.
So
Okay?
he came up to the people and he said the whole people's movement, so he pretended to be a Muslim to try to get into the group, and that's like our theory is that act like something that's like very biased. Like, is it like a big sin, or is it like what is like Islam comes from?
Use the microphone. Keep it close.
What's
So that dude, did he commit a sin by pretending to be a Muslim to look cool?
yeah.
Okay.
So like how big and like how much bad he like would he black for like him that's it. Like how much bad he was.
So he ran away?
No, like he that yeah, so he basically ran away. He just left and then like he did come back.
So during the whole tenure, when he was pretending, what was he doing?
He kept like singing to the people that he is in, but then
No, that's what he's saying. What was he doing? To be a part of the gang, what was he doing?
we were just like to be like them, like you have to be like one of the people who the people in the group thought that like, oh yeah, they could be good for us, and if you didn't like exist before you get accepted, and then when the people in the group, they knew that she was a Muslim because that whenever they did an Islam lesson, the kid, he used to like go, and say like, I hate this, and he used to say that he was like his parents were like Christian and the atheists, and he hated Islam. And then when they
What's your name?
Shahram. Shahram.
Sharon.
Shahram.
Yeah.
Shahram.
Yeah. So then the people asked
How old are you?
10.
How old was this boy?
It was like 3 years, but he was 7 years old.
Where is he now?
He left the school in Tyranny, so he gone to a place that like in Manchester. You don't know where he was.
Sharon, listen, this is it's called a question of jeopardy, okay? It's a situation. I'll tell you what it means. So your question is, was he committing a sin?
Yeah.
No. But the whole gang was. See? The whole gang is committing a sin because they did not make him fulfill or follow through his own pretension. After even he pretended to be a part of the gang, he did not deem the gang worth changing his belief for. You guys didn't inspire him. You know what I'm saying? Plus how you're 10, 12?
10.
Brother, you guys are 10? Well, where did that boy go?
Twins.
Were you asking me those questions?
No, him. We're identical twins.
Hold on. Are there 3 of you guys?
No, 2. Just
Did you just ask me all those questions?
before him, yeah.
Really? You're Roshan?
Yeah.
My God. Okay, listen,
Sure.
Shahram.
Yeah.
Shahram. You're 10, it's all right. You cannot sin right now. But if it were happening to you if you're adults, then I'll blame the gang, not that dude. Okay? You're 10, it's all right. Just take it easy. Go on. What's your 3 questions? You have more questions, right?
Yeah. So, like, I've heard that the Prophet Muhammad used to sleep on his right side, and everything that like we were told to do, like even told to sleep on my side, has benefits for us, like physically. So like will that be a benefit for us, like physically when you sleep on our sides or not?
Yeah, why?
Because most of the things that Islam tells us to do.
No, I know. I get the idea. In this specific case, why is it more beneficial to sleep on the right side?
I don't know.
Do you have biology in school?
No, not yet.
Really? England? No biology in school? Till 5th grade?
We're in primary school yet.
5th grade. That's middle school.
We don't have. We have primary school and high school. Does he go home to see?
The heart is on the left side. Okay? So if you lean on the heart, the flow is going to pressurize the veins around the heart.
So the blood stops flowing.
It's not a stop. It never stops, okay? But it constricts them. Okay? It squishes the whole system, even though you cannot squish your heart because it's right there in the middle of the ribs, right? But if you sleep on the right, it's a free-flowing motion of the circulation of the blood, right? That's just one. Think of 3 more. Okay? You're 1 week. Tell everyone in your house 3 other benefits of sleeping on the right side. Okay? What's your next question?
That was basically it.
Okay.
Only a few.
Okay. Thank you. The knob. Gee. Anybody else has any questions? See, the best question actually come from the kids. Oh, just be a child there. How old are you? You're 10. What's your name? Spell that. Lena.
Yeah.
L.
Yeah.
Okay, Lena.
But us still is, and you know when the Dajjal comes?
Really?
Yeah.
Where's your mother? Who's the mother and father of Lena? You are teaching him the Dajjal. Awesome. Yes, Lena.
alayhi salam chosen and not that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam chosen. Protect them.
Because the story started from the time of Isa alayhi salam. He had to come and finish it. So what's the story? That should be your question. Yeah. Okay. The Dajjal is the... Well, there's a bit of a history going on between Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salam and the Jews. Okay? So since they tried to kill Isa ibn Maryam, unsuccessfully obviously, and then they didn't stop even after he was sent above, he has to come back and finish the story. They couldn't and they possibly wouldn't do that to our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay? So what is the story? That's something you'll have to read. Most interesting story. It's got all of whatever you can possibly imagine. The most interesting, the most exciting story is the story of Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salam. But do you know the story of Isa ibn Maryam? A little bit is not enough. Okay? Not just read it, teach it. Okay? And Muslims are all crazy about Dajjal. That's like the go-to word for every Muslim. Actually, Muslims should be called as people who know about Dajjal. We know so much about Dajjal, so much, that is ironic. That's the one person you cannot know anything about. That's why he's Dajjal. If you knew so much about Dajjal, then there wouldn't be such a big Dajjal. And the man, alayhi salam, Isa ibn Maryam, that we should have known about, we know nothing about. They're two characters of the same story. That's why I go crazy. Every Muslim man or woman, top fives, Dajjal, top five. You know those billboard lists? Those top movie lists of whatever you gotta have in England, what's it called? What now? You don't know? You know, every country has its own top five of the Hollywood movies and the songs and whatever. In Muslim billboards, Dajjal always makes it the top five. It's like, what? That's ironic. It's like a PhD of Dajjal at the age 20 or 15. Everybody, every household. Why? Because the story is exciting, no doubt. But that's the one creature you cannot know anything about, at least with not as much predictability. Because he's going to change the paradigm altogether. Hence, he's the Dajjal. So that's why our Prophet ﷺ said, Lina, that if I were to be there, I would have dealt with him. Because only a prophet can kill him. So, back to Zarnab's question, what is a prophet then? Why does it take a prophet to kill Dajjal? What is a prophet then? What kind of power does a prophet would have or should have to deal with this problem? Because only a prophet can deal with that problem. So a regular man has something less than a prophet? Yes. So what is it that a prophet has and a regular man or woman does not have?
They have the ability to speak up for their religion.
But that's what every man has. That's why we can do the job of a prophet. Okay, Lina, think. And a girl is going to solve this problem. You might be that girl. I gave you a cue. Okay, Lina, counting on you. You're 10. You have the time to go into it and see, not the job, but Isa ibn Maryam, alayhi salam. You should be the ambassador, the real ambassador. Please start your main session. We only have 1.5 hours left. There is no more important a session than the one that I'm having right now. I'm telling you this right now. I came to England and I come to wherever I go to, especially in the West. This is what I dream about. This is what I'm structuring everything about. I'll tell you why. Who's a non-Muslim in the house? Anybody? Who's a Caucasian in the house? Any Caucasian? Any guy who was born in any third generation Brit, third generation, whose Dadi or Dada came in to England? Nobody? Then this session does not hold any value for you anyway. This, Lena, you're going to solve that problem for me, okay? And my daughters and my sons. You want to take up that responsibility?
Yes.
What's your full name?
Lina Islam.
Allahu Akbar. Islam is in your name. Islam is in your name. It should be in your being now. Anybody else? Anybody else have any questions before I open the box of poison? It's going to go through your veins. It's going to hurt. I swear to God, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. You're guys going to scream and squiver. Well, you got piling up kids now? Okay, go on. It's all right. Yeah, good thing. Good job. Good. Oh, you have a question? Why don't you just ask them yourself? Why do you have to write this? What's your name? What's your name?
Awesome.
Asim? Okay, hold on to this, man. You took a... No, it's all right. No, go on. You have 3 kids? When did you come to England? When did you come to England? We call it England here, right? This is England, right? Last time I checked? Because I'm coming straight from Scotland right now. And if you said over England there, you're in a lot of trouble. Yeah.
So 10 years, 8 years, 10 years, 7 years ago.
What's your name?
Iram.
Iram. When did you come to the Great Britain of the United Kingdom?
2007.
7. So that's more than
18 years.
close to 2 decades. You study here?
No.
Close call. Yes, you have 3 kids. What's your question?
3 kids, 8, 10, 7, and 4.
That's 4. That's 4 kids.
3 kids, 10, 7, and 4.
10-year-old, 7-year-old,
Did-
4-year-old.
Didn't you see the... Yeah, I get it, man. But she gave 4 ages, didn't she?
Yeah, so my question is, you said homeschooling, so...
I said homeschooling.
No, because...
Everybody says the word homeschooling sometime.
But my question is, I was very nervous. I said, I'm not going to ask you the question, because if you say something, I can't. Like, मैं तीन बच्चों को homeschooling करना चाह रही हूँ. I need a start. I don't know मैं किधर से मैं start करूँ. मेरे बच्चों को
8, 10, 7, 10, 8, 7, 4.
No 8, no 8.
No, I said 10 years old, 7 years old, and 4 years old. 3 kids.
So how do you start homeschooling?
मैंने ये आपके सेशन में देखी रहती हूँ on YouTube पे.
Anybody else is trying to homeschool? 2 people. I'll tell you why to homeschool. That's not my agenda today. We have a homeschooling tour in England right now going on. Come to that or look at that video for sure. Because if I start talking about homeschooling, I'm going to get these slips by the dozens. Okay? But where do you start? You start from understanding why you need to understand and internalize why do you need to do this. Because as soon as you're going to start homeschooling, everyone is going to go against you.
They already, when I said I want to.
Oh, yeah, there you go, yeah. So mommies and daddies need to be schooled first before they can get their kids to homeschool. Okay? Because I don't know if Pakistani or Indian, especially Muslim women have what it takes, the grit to stand up and become Zad. I don't think so. I'll tell you why. You want to build it? Be my guest. But right now, the status quo. So here's my question. Anybody else has any question? Yes. Walaikum salam.
मेरा क्वेश्चन है याजूज और माजूज के बारे में
है ना?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's top 3. Dajjal is right there under Yajuj and Majuj. Yeah.
हज़रत आदम अलैहिस्सलाम चूँकि पहले इंसान हैं तो उनकी जनरेशन में से हज़रत नूह अलैहिस्सलाम और उनकी जनरेशन में से याजूज और माजूज. So it's a sort of evolution के हदीस के अंदर जो उनकी जो specific attributes बयान किए गए हैं उनके कान इतने बड़े होंगे और something like that. And second one is that कि क्या आप सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की तालीमात उनके लिए भी हैं क्या उनमें से भी मुसलमान और नॉन मुस्लिम डिस्क्लेमर हैं?
The word is dabba. Look it up in the Quran.
Yeah.
Dabba actually means in Arabic, creatures who can think.
Yeah.
So whenever there is a creature who can think, the word of God applies with all of its implications to every creature. So they will be tested. So much so, the Prophet ﷺ said, most of the people of hell, hence they had a choice of heaven. Otherwise, they cannot go to hell. If they did not have a choice, they cannot be put to hell. Most of the people of hell will be Ya'juj and Ma'juj. Okay? So the earlier part of your question is it evolution that they became like this? Well, if it were evolution, we'd be like that. Because we're way down the lane of evolution, right? They were way ahead in the graph. So Adam alayhi salam did not spend his time on this planet is not all of his time. Okay? That's where the answers come from. Hadiba yansilun. Hadiba yansilun. Where does the Quran say that? Say that in the book Allah Azza wa Jalla says, Ya'juj wa Ma'juj. When we are when we are going to open them up, they're going to come from spaces from above. Okay? Which naturally implies that Adam alayhi salam, obviously, was somewhere above, which Allah says, Allah bitu, go down. He was above. So he had a journey before he came to planet Earth. Okay? And a full journey. Hence the 1,000 years.
And sir, one more thing that जब हम आसलम की सीरा मुबारक को कुछ वाक़यात देखते हैं, so most of the things कि जैसे वो अबू जहल का एक बड़ा फेमस वाक़या कि वो जब आसलम के ऊपर वो पत्थर फेंकने लगा था तो उसने एक अजीब सा क्रिएचर देखा जो ऊँट की तरह था लेकिन ऊँट नहीं था, जुबानिया का टाइटल उसको दिया गया कुरान पाक में. So what do you think that कि आसलम के दौर में क्या ये सारे वाक़यात इतने आम थे कि हर बंदा डिसबिलीवर भी इन सारी चीज़ों को देखता था और आज के दौर में ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है?
आम बंदा नहीं देखता था, वो अबू जहल था. आम बंदा नहीं था. और मसला आम का नहीं है, ख़ास का नहीं है. मसला उस वाक़े का है कि जिस वाक़े में वो एंटर हुआ है. ओके? तो ये ख़ास वाक़यात हर एक के लिए, चाहे वो आम बंदा हो, ख़ास बंदा हो. इन दिस केस अबू जहल, he saw that weird creature that was not from this planet. And just like that, in Surah Fil, every Meccan saw those birds, which we somehow made little ababils out of. Those are not those ababils. Okay? In Pakistan and India, the word ababil is used for a certain bird. In Arabic, that's not the meaning of the word. That's why mommies teach them Arabic. They would start questioning that this is not what Allah says. Which uncle qualifies to write on behalf of God Almighty and do his own brain work here? Allah has done his brain work. Just translate it. Don't use your own brain in thinking that, but this is what Allah would mean, then I'm going to add a bracket and put it inside the Quran. That's not God's word anymore then. That's your word. Like literally, your word, ababil. Tayran ababil. That's not the bird that is drawn on Google if you Google it up. Or what you know ababil. Anybody else? So everybody saw that, right? So it's the extraordinary event, not the extraordinary man or men. Okay, the qualification is of the event. So Allah Azza wa Jalla is timing these events. So much so, the kids, listen to this. Okay? So much so, because you're not going to hear this anywhere in a Muslim gathering. Okay? Focus. When the Prophet ﷺ says, Allah Azza wa Jalla says first, that when the moon is split, right there Allah says, the day of judgment is upon you now. What does that got to do with the day of judgment? What does the moon, forget moon being split up or whatever, anything happening with the moon has nothing to do with the day of judgment. Why are these two things coupled up in the Quran? See, the moon is split and the day of judgment is upon you now. Why is this not the number one question in Islam? Especially our kids. By the way, they are asking these kids. You know what they're asking these kids? These questions are by Muslim kids being directed to NASA or Elon Musk or whatever, because mommies and daddies, they don't talk in this realm anymore. That's why your kids are into astronomy all the time, YouTubing or whatever, SpaceX. Do you know what SpaceX is?
Yeah.
How the hell would a Muslim child, 10, would know SpaceX? It's a natural calling. And Muslim clerics, they don't even know what space is. This boy knows what SpaceX is. Muslim clerics don't even know what space is. The Quran starts with the space. Quran starts with the space. How does the Quran start, ma'am? How does the Quran start? Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. 7 heavens right there. That's the first verse of the Quran. Space, going to space. That's your natural calling of this child, every child. And the word space is not in any masjid ever for the last 1,000 years. That's why kids don't read the Quran. And they are reading about the Quran from SpaceX, about the heavens. The Quran is telling us to look up and see the heavens. Don't you see? So, coming back, Shaqul Qamar, Day of Judgment. These two things coupled together. What? So, who can tell me what happened? Who can tell me? I'll tell you. This boy will be able to tell me what actually happened when the moon was split. I do not mean to demean my Muslim sisters, but I'm assuming you haven't even thought about it ever. Have you even thought about it ever? And if you have, you are the exception I'm looking for. But ask the Muslim halakas of sisters gathering up. They do not talk about the Quran in the grandeur that it demands. The grandeur. Elon Musk is doing it for us. He's not going to teach the Quran, I swear to God. Even if he wants to, he won't be able to. So, moon splits. How? Moon splits easily. Moon splits when? Come here, let me show you how the moon splits. Dharnab, come here. Stand here. So this is planet Earth. This is the moon. Go further. So people can see the moon like this. Hold these books together. When I tell them to, split them, okay? So as soon as any kind of, and I'm talking about this very size, okay? Even if this size of an actual black hole, this is a size, comes anywhere, pops up, takes birth, because of whatever event between the earth and the moon, people from earth are going to see two different moons split actually into real halves. And this black hole dies right there. What's going to happen? This is going to happen. It's called the gravitational lens. Who's working on the gravitational lens? Muslims? No, they don't even know what it is. Because the Quran does not just say the moon split. We all know what happened after the moon split. What happened after the moon split? It came back. That's not according to the sunnah of Allah in any laws of any physics, wherever things happen. When the body in space starts moving, it's going to remain in motion. Okay? That's the first law of motion. Anybody in motion is going to remain in motion unless some external forces apply on, right? And these are two different bodies, two equal halves moving away. In space, there is no friction, no air, no nothing. And then they come back. Which means now that this kind of black hole got popped up. It's like a disease. It's the first mole. Okay? It's a disease. So the first of those moles have appeared. And next time, there are going to be many moles around you. And in the Quran says on that day, you're going to see doors in your sky. Doors. That's Surah Naba. That's the date which Surah Qamar is talking about, when it's talking about the splitting of the moon. So the first time it's going to happen, the moon is going to split. Next time it's going to happen, everything is going to split. That's what Allah says, Abwaba. You're going to see doors. Every single inch of this heaven, this sky is going to be doorways. So the first has appeared, the last is about to come. The first lens has appeared, the first black hole has popped up, now they're going to start popping up because now the atmosphere is friendly for these sort of things. So it's going to pop up naturally. That's what Surah Qamar is saying. Thank you. I'm telling you, these kids are going to become scholars and professors and teachers and implementers and inspirers of the Quran. If you teach them the way the Quran demands a Muslim to open up everything. However, that makes me fall right back into my session so naturally. However, we are not going to do that. We are not going to do that. Is this going to work? We are not going to do that because we can calculate easily. Mommies, listen to this. This is my main session for whoever wrote this slip, okay? More slips? Why are you making that boy stand?
I told him to sit down.
Okay, what's your question? Asim? कोई बात नहीं. You want to read this? Okay. Let's see. How do we stop thinking about modern, what's this word? S-L-U-G-G? Slug. Stug. Stuff. Oh, modern stuff. Okay. Yeah, let me answer this right there. Okay. Good question. Good question, okay? Sit down. Why are you standing up? Okay. You know what the word IQ is? Tell me what IQ means. Sister. Last sister, last. Yeah, you're the last sister, yeah. You're my last sister, yeah. What's your name? What's IQ? Yeah. Intelligence quotient. Yeah. What is it? Like? How, what? Attention to? Attention? What is it then? How do you, the ability to? Close enough. What is IQ, sir? What is an IQ? The word IQ, come on. Okay, sorry.
You can process input.
Sister, brothers, fathers. You're raising Muslim kids in Manchester. Come on. IQ. Everybody knows that. Not at all. Not at all. Not ability to reason is not IQ. Go on. Capacity of the brain to do what?
मुझे
You know, this is like an appetizer right now. This is not my, this nothing to do with my,
Would it be the ability to retain information?
where are you? Oh, okay. How are you connected to the, it's a new microphone? Okay. The ability to do what?
To retain information.
Not at all. That's memory.
Ability to compute.
Hippocampus. Nothing to do with the IQ. Internalize wisdom. Nope. Not even close.
How quick and accurate
Yeah. Quick what? Quick and accurate what?
answer the questions.
Ah, close. Coefficient. Coefficient. Cognition. It's a very simple thing, IQ. IQ is the speed at which you can process data. The speed of processing data is IQ, okay?
Digest quick.
Who is that? Yeah, that's quick intelligence, yeah. I'll take that. I'll take that. Because it's the speed, do not do that. It is because the process, what's your name, sir? Yeah. Taki, yeah. You and I are in sync, okay? Keep the grace. Keep the grace. You get it? Yeah. What do you use the word? Low key now? Yeah? Low key. What does that actually mean, low key? What does it mean when you say low key? There's no one word for it, right? It's a whole phenomenon around it. Yeah, I know. So IQ, Taki, IQ is the speed at which you can process any kind of data. Now you can measure that. Anyone can Google it up and check his IQ right now. Check it right now. You can do it. Less than 10 minutes, obviously they're going to give you a timer, right? Because if you not time it, it's not IQ, right? So focus on what I'm about to tell you. Any Muslim, non-Muslim, born wherever he's going to be born, is going to be affected by that place, and he's going to get the average of the IQ of the people around him. That's how it works. So your kids are born in Patoki, Mianwali, Pashin, Karnataka, Khuzdar, Delhi, Manchester. The whole city is going to give him the IQ, the average of the people around him, right? He's naturally, always he's going to have to grow it up, grow into some sort of a number. He's going to maybe excel from the group. Maybe he's going to be inside the group. Most of the people are going to remain in the group. So most of the people are going to have the IQ of the people around him, the average of the people around him. That's the ability to process data. So it's very, very critical that I come out of Pakistan and come to Manchester, come to London, come to Birmingham, Milton Keynes, Glasgow, and Edinburgh. I go there. You know why? Because Cambridge is paying off its dividends everywhere. Oxford is paying its dividends. University of Edinburgh and Glasgow really rank high. They're paying its dividends. They disseminate the radiation, high, good radiation, IQ in kids, and in average, wherever you guys are going to be raising your kids, that city or that place is going to raise the IQ of this boy or this girl. That's the average. That's how it works. But that's part of my problem, not part of the solution. That's why I'm moving around England. This is my third time in England, and not my last time, because these kind of kids keep growing my hope. Taki, focus. Okay? There's a reason why. You're the reason why I came to England. Okay? Ask your father. He'll be like, dude, I hate this guy. And he better hate me. Because I'm leaning on you. Man, I'm leaning on you. And you know what? I'm not leaning on you. My philosophy is leaning on you. My Islam is leaning on you. My day of judgment is leaning on you. You need to understand how important you kids are, especially mommies and daddies. You need to focus. So IQ is, okay, Manchester is going to give you some IQ. So naturally a boy raised in Manchester, you can test it, is going to have a higher IQ than any boy of that age in Lahore, or Karachi, or Delhi, or Chennai. Test it. You'll find out. That's the power of academia and education and, the systems, whatever you guys have built around raising a child, That's why I was so peculiar in asking whether he's got biology right now or physics or whatever right now. But they got their own system, I get it. I'm not going to teach them out of it. I should though, you should though, but I can't. But then there's another problem. See, the higher the IQ, the natural flow of whatever information you're going to get because of your IQ, you're going to process so much information, you are going to get a false sense of self-esteem. In other words, kids in Manchester are going to have a higher sense of self-esteem than kids in Karachi. You can test that here in Manchester. Who came to Manchester, England this year? Last 5 years. You came in the last 5 years. Last 5 years. Okay. Can you raise your hand a little higher? I just want to do a number here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, sister, what's your name? What's your name, sorry? I can't hear you. See? Microphone. Just spell it for me. Can anyone get that? Ghazala? Didn't you start with a D? A G. Ghazala. How old are you, Ghazala? You're 19. Okay, you came less than 5 years ago, right? Yeah. Where you come from? Why are you so shy about your city? Chishtiyan. Where is it? You know why you're shy? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody knows. Cue it up. Yeah, Ghazala. You study here? Yeah, do you know any people from your education? You go to school? But how do you study? You go out to study somewhere? Yeah, where do you go? College. What's the name of the college? Preston College. With a P, Preston. Okay. So what are you studying? IT. So when Ghazala goes to Preston, all of my daughters and sisters who come from Pakistan or India, wherever, they're going to go through, the word is called acculturation, I know. Acculturation with an A. Okay? Acculturation is when a solute enters a solvent. What happens to the solute? You know what a salute is, right? Yeah, okay. Do you know what a salute is? Ghazala, what is a salute? No, you don't know what a salute is. Then ask. You know why you're not asking? Because your IQ could be high, but your esteem is still shaky. You know why? Mommy had a Gora complex. Yeah, that's the problem. So, I can easily, in less than 10 minutes, give you an app, log you in, do your questionnaire. Less than 10 minutes, more than about 150 people, and I can get the IQ of the room right here, right now. The problem is not the IQ, Ghazala. You're going to be growing IQ every year, 2 points, maybe 3, depending on how good you are, okay? But your esteem is going down. And God forbid, if you carry that or you grab the esteem from your colleagues here in Preston, you are the biggest problem for my philosophy. This preamble is going to tell you what I'm here in Manchester for. Okay? My objective is called IMS. The boy was talking about this. Come together, all Muslims. Become one organism. Because if you get hurt and I don't feel it, I am cursed in the Quran. I am not going to make it in the day of judgment. If I don't feel your pain right now. But you know what it takes to feel anybody else's pain, Taki? What does it take? IQ? No. What does it take to feel somebody else's pain? That empathy. Where did that come from? No. What does it take to have that kind of empathy? See, that's the problem psychologists are not solving right now. And they're not gonna, because they've tangent themselves out of this sort of realm. Muslims cannot tangent themselves out, because that's the central core of every book Allah Azza wa Jal wrote, from the Torah to the Bible to the Quran. That I am not going to let you split into fragments and pieces. Now, IMS is just another symptom of what Muslims can do, because the cause is the same. I guarantee you this right now, and everyone's in on it. Sab mil ke ta'eed karenge. Everyone's going to agree to it. That right after this session, you girls and you boys are going to go right back into lack of empathy, zero follow through. That's why I said this is my main session. You guys think you're going to con me out of this? No, this is my main session. So what does it take to live up to the hadith this little boy was talking about, that if you are not single organism, you are not even going to smell Jannah. You are the problem. You're not the solution. You are so distant from Jannah if you were not for the community, not for every human being, not just pain and suffering, but the progress as well. And we think my wife and my kids, and that's going to make me hunky and dory on the day of judgment? No. This is that little bag that's going to put me in hell. My own wife and kids, because I isolated myself. That's what Quran says. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. You cannot split families from each other. We thought it was Shia and Sunni. You know why? Because some Shia told us and some Sunni told us. So we are fragmented into different single family units. That's what you call it in Manchester, right? In America, that's what you call it. A single family unit. Who are you, sir? I'm a homeowner. What kind of home? It's a single family unit, sir. You call it here, that? You talk like this here? In England? No? What do you call this? How do you get taxed on your property? It's not a single family unit? Most of you guys are in mortgage. Come on, say it. What is it? What is it in England? England में क्या कहते हैं इसको? Single family unit नहीं बोलते? No. I'm talking about the legal terminology. Okay, by the way, single family unit is a legal terminology for a household in America or Canada. It's a single family unit. You know what they're talking about? They're talking about their home. Okay? So what I'm saying is, here, when we say IMS, when we say Islam, you can see 99.9% of the scholars, 99.9% of the scholars, Pakistan and Indian, not Arabians. Obviously, they're in the same game, but you see exceptions in the Arabian scholars. But most of us desis, you know what we're suffering from? We're suffering from people with low self-esteem trying to carry the Quran. That's not gonna be possible. A low self-esteem guy cannot uphold the Torah or the Bible, let alone the Quran. That's why I said I can measure the IQ, but if I start measuring the self-esteem, it's not going to amount to anything. Your IQ could be in triple digits for all I know. I do not know. Maybe there is a genius sitting here. But your esteem is on the floor. Anybody's going to step on it and walk over it, and you will be thanking him for it. You won't resist, you'll actually thank. You know why you're going to thank him? So that he wouldn't get mad at you and do it all over again. remind you of anyone? जी, you raise your hand. Yeah.
दो सवाल मिलते हैं यहाँ पर। एक तो ये है कि सेल्फ एस्टीम जब हम अपने हाई करने की कोशिश करते हैं और अपने आप को लाइक पास में बहुत सारे ऐसे काम कर चुके होते हैं जिसकी वजह से लोग कहते हैं कि तुम तो हो ही खराब, तो वो सही रास्ते पे आके तो सही काम करने की कोशिश करते हैं, तो उसके बाद भी उसको कुछ कर देते हैं, तो उसके बाद हम कैसे अपने सेल्फ एस्टीम को मेंटेन कर सकते हैं?
किधर आपका बच्चा? कहाँ है? ये आपका बच्चा है? इसके साथ मुझे क्या करने की इजाज़त है? कितना इसको हरास और अब्यूज़ और असॉल्ट कर सकता हूँ मैं? नहीं, मैं करना चाहूँ तो क्या करेंगे मेरे साथ? How long are you going to fight for? Yeah, are you sure? मगर मेरे बच्चों को बचाने के लिए नहीं करेंगे ना। ये है एस्टीम का मतलब। मैंने आपके बच्चे के बारे में बात की है। So if I assault him, you're going to do whatever you can to stop it, right? Yeah.
यही चीज़ मैं अपने बाकी सारे बच्चे जो मेरी फैमिली में हैं उनके लिए करना चाहूँ तो मुझे कहते हैं कि तुम्हारी औकात ही क्या है?
अभी तो बताया आपने आपकी, आप मुझ से बंदे के ऊपर आप चढ़ दौड़ेंगी, मेरी पसलियाँ तोड़ देंगी आप।
कैसे कन्फ्रंट करेंगे हम लोग?
Listen, I just answered your question. Listen, you're not internalizing my answer. If you thought that my daughter is just like you, what's your son's name? Aliyan. My son's name is Shafi'i, right? If something happens to Shafi'i, why would you not do the same thing the way if anything were to happen to Aliyan?
सर
फिर वो क्या?
तीसरा बंदा जो है ना
वो क्या?
वो आके इससे करता है, शोल्ड करने की कोशिश करता है, अगर मैं चुप्पी करूंगी कि भाई इस बच्चे को कोई भी XYZ बच्चा है उसको बचाने की कोशिश करूंगी।
क्या नाम है आपका मैम? पूरे ताकत से नाम बताया कि अपना। नीलम। आपको पता है, you know why Donald Trump had to bomb Iran? You know why? Why? Tell me. Why did Donald Trump had to bomb Iran and swear at Netanyahu next day, but had to bomb it? Why? किसका? नीलम का। जी, उधर भी एक नीलम है, उसने कहा था बम मार नहीं तो तुझे छोड़ेंगे नहीं। तेरी औकात क्या है? तुझे पैसे देके प्रेसिडेंट बनाया हुआ हमने, तू सड़क नहीं क्रॉस कर सकेगा, हमारे ऊपर हमला हुआ है, ये बोला था उसने। ये उसका नाम सिंथिया है, भाई तस्वीर दिखाता हूँ उसको आपको। आपको 6-18 ख़ानदान के अंकल्स और बुजुर्गान सफ़ेद दाढ़ी वालों का प्रेशर फील हो रहा है, आपको डोनाल्ड ट्रंप का प्रेशर नहीं फील हो रहा? तो और किसकी बात हो रही है? वो कह देते हैं। वो नहीं सुनते और क्या करते हैं? और अब निकल लिए हैं अभी तक या नहीं निकली? यू लेफ्ट। तो किया आपने कुछ? Why? 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 Why 20? Why not 5? Why not 10? Why not 30? Why 20? What's the maths behind this? Marine. So such a logical answer. Who needs a break? Why is this urgent to take a break right now? ये नीलम देखें जरा अब। क्या थ्योरी है इसके पीछे? ब्रेक के पीछे थ्योरी क्या है? खाना खाना लोगों ने? अच्छा, देसी आ गए तो खाना तो खाएंगे ना फिर। Yeah, you think I'm already short in time, man. ऐसे नहीं किसी की बात मान लेनी, चाहे वो लिख के दे दें। आपको अल्लाह लिख के दे रहा है, उसकी नहीं मान रही, क्योंकि तलाक हो जाती है ना जी। और क्या होता है? Really? Doesn't matter. अच्छा, आपसे ताने नहीं सुने जाते? आप वो बहन है मेरी। ओह, आई अपोलोजाइज। बड़े जोर के लगते हैं। फलस्तीन को गोली इतनी जोर की नहीं लगती, इतनी ताने पाकिस्तानी लड़की को लगते हैं। तो हाँ लगते हैं, तो और क्या कह रही हैं आप? नीलम, अपने सुर को तो नीचे करें। इतने सुर में क्यों आप, इतने ऊंचे सुर में आप उधर लड़ाई करें, मेरे से नहीं।
मैं लड़ नहीं रही सदा आपसे, मैं ये कह रही हूँ कि हम कामयाब नहीं हो सकते हैं, हमें ताने मारते हैं, doesn't matter।
तो फिर आप ये सवाल क्यों पूछ रही मेरे से? नीलम, आपने कितनी, listen, my question is simple. Have I read your written word yet? Have I seen any of your campaign in action? Then you're just talking, not doing anything. Oh, but the pen wouldn't move on the paper, right? Neelam, action koi nahi hai. Aur batata hu kyun nahi hai. Don't worry, I'll tell you why the action is not going to be there. And I'm not saying you. This is not just about you. It's about my mommy. It's about my sister. Okay? It's about my daughters. Don't you dare think that this is about you, okay? This is about everybody. This, Ghazala, what is self-esteem? Answer me this question. Everybody knew what IQ is. What is self-esteem? No, value is not self-esteem. That's dignity.
Self-awareness.
Yeah, that's going to lead you to know what self-esteem is, right? What is self-esteem? See, the problem is all Muslim scholars, all Muslim politicians have become the same speech. Have you not noticed? Shehbaz Sharif and all the ulama are speaking the same tone. Nobody speaks about the chief of the army staff because, oh, koi utha ke le jayega. You know what I'm saying? उनको literally कत्ल हो जाने दो, मुझे कोई उठाए भी ना, मुझे बाइज्जत तरीके से ISI वाले लेके भी ना जाएं, मेरी बच्ची बेशक मरती रहे उधर। ये है हमारा पाकिस्तानी बाप कि मेरी बेटियां मार दो, मुझे पुरतपाक तरीके से उठा के भी ना लेके जाओ, मुझे इंटेरोगेट भी ना करो, बच्चियां मेरी सर ही मार दो, kill all of my daughters, just don't pick me up. And American clerics are afraid of the CIA, just like the Pakistanis are afraid of the ISI. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be afraid. What I'm saying is stop messaging on behalf of the Quran. These kids are going to think the Quran is saying whatever you're saying. You want to be afraid? It's okay. Step aside. Step aside, it's okay. You want to sulk in your own tears, if your own lack of dignity somewhere in some corner in your own some other house, it's okay, it's your problem. But our problem is the bigger community where the biggest, atrocities are happening around kids and girls and boys who can't even help their own selves. And everyone's like, yeah, I know why he wouldn't say it, because you know what? He's going to be picked up the next day in less than 24 hours. CIA is not as fast as ISI. We all know it. And here, when I come here, because Ghazala, there was higher IQ here. So I came to England. You know what? We'll talk about Palestine and this and that and the Quran. And everyone was like, Sahil bhai, hush. This is England. You don't use the word Israel here. And I'm like, what? So you were looking for a demon, man. There in Pakistan, you had the army. Here, you got King, really? The King Charles Philip Windsor Mountbatten? That's your demon here? You guys create your own demons? Even if they don't even know, I don't even know I'm your demon. You made me a demon and I'm like the biggest fear in your life. That's what every low self-esteem man or a woman does. That's what self-esteem is. How quick you can process the information is IQ. How quick you can create something which is going to scare you is your lack of self-esteem. So you tell me, where is your fear coming from? Because I'll tell you this right now. Every Pakistani and every Indian is convincing my boys and girls that, you know what, Israel is great. America is great. We got nobodies. Don't do anything. So what's your name? What's his name? Is your son? Abdullah. how strong do you have to be for you to take initiative against me if I hurt him? You don't have to be strong. You just have to have dignity. Do you know a tiny little chick, when an eagle comes in the nest, well, not the nest, but wherever, the little hen jumps with all of its power on the big eagle, and the eagle knows that if that hen is around those chicks, I'm not going to come in for the kill. So, I'm not here to equip you, I'm here to tell you something. Here, this is the recipe. No one in Muslim land, wherever the Arabs, especially the Arabians have this MBS. They're way more afraid about MBS than we could. We love the army, okay? And we're still afraid of it. Look, imagine what the Arabian Muslims are going through. Look at gangsters everywhere, and gangsters can only survive. And you learned in Manchester, when somebody was bullying your child in school, what's the first thing you taught them? Hold your ground, son, otherwise you're going to give birth to another bully in the class. If you are going to run this just one bully today, tomorrow there's going to be 3 chasing you for your lunch money. You taught, all of you guys taught this. That was just common sense, wasn't it? Or did you not teach, or are you teaching your kids to run away from bullies? The silence. Let me sink it in, absorb it. But you guys are not teaching your sons to get bullied and be okay with it, right? You did he? Yeah. Good job, man. What's your name? Yeah, you fight back, okay? Otherwise, someone else is going to bully you for the just sake of having fun. And bullies are not mentally okay. They got some problem going on in their homes, okay? And they're translating that into making it your problem. That's not your problem, okay? So you fight back. Somebody else may start the fight, but we finish it. That's the job, okay? Otherwise, everyone's going to bully you. Okay, Roshan? And you're going to find a bully in every single day of your life as soon as you're going to be in human beings. People have problems. Bullies are ill. They're ill. So if you're bullying somebody, you are that problem. But I know you're not going to bully anybody, right? Because that is going against every single thing your father believes in. You help the weak. You don't suppress the weak or oppress them. So here is the trap. This is the trap. Now, if I say Muslims have to come into a community, everyone is asking me, everywhere I go, from Norway to Brazil, everyone is asking me, sir, give me what to do. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. Neelam, everyone is asking me, sir, mujhe bataye na main karun kya? Main karun kya, sir? I cannot tell you, Neelam, because I know you're not going to do it. That's how. How का तो आंसर है मेरे पास. You should be asking, why are you saying that? How का तो आंसर लेके आऊँ मैं. You should be saying, how dare you say that, Sahil? No, you didn't say that. You're trying to please me here. You're in customer service? No, you're not. Here is the recipe. Let me give you the recipe. Before I open the recipe, this is what any community would do, whatever right or wrong belief system that they have. Now, you guys don't believe in LGBT, I'm assuming. Assuming? Everybody has? Any lesbians or gays here? Any believers of LGBTQ here? But they are way more effective than all the Muslims combined. So it doesn't matter whether you are like disgusted by it. It doesn't matter. Because when people believe in whatever they believe in, that's what they do. You know what? There was a time, and actually in England, actually they started it, when every gay or a lesbian, once discovered, would have to be hospitalized. Okay? They were in England. And now, this is a mental illness, okay? They have to be hospitalized until 1990. Most of you guys are alive. In 1990, you have to go to a hospital, go through all of that medicinal therapy, and then you will be treated. From that to this, mandatory in England. Mandatory in England. Not just England, by the way. I'm coming from Canada, grade 3, sex education. Every child, it is mandatory, incumbent to go through this education. You know what grade 3's age is? How old are you?
7.
Oh, you're way past grade 3. 7. He is 10. What grade are you in?
It depends on grade.
5. So about 2.5 years ago, right? Yeah. So you know what, Sam, between 5th and 9th year of age, what the brain is going through? Did you know that? See, you guys are not doing your own biology, your own homework here. There's a, and I'm not, this is not my topic, okay? This is just a case study. My topic is Islam. How to make Muslims coming into movement. Coming into the activist life. That's my topic. So, somebody who knew how the brain works placed this education at that age of the brain where the identity markers start to take place. This is that age. He's going through 1 more year left. You're 10, right? 1 more year left of a boy. And if it were to be a girl, Zanab is 8, right? Yeah, 1 more year left for Zanab. After that, mommy cannot change that. No matter what you do. Her markers are already installed. So why do you think they made it mandatory for this age? Schools. Why? Yes, so they would save money to change adults, because it takes a lot of money to change the opinion of adults. It takes billions, if not trillions of dollars to change the opinion of adults. It takes absolutely no money to make the opinion of a child. Okay? So brain work, it takes IQ to put that in that part of the school. Now you tell me, which mommy knew that at which age I'm going to install the Prophet ﷺ, the Muslim identity, and the efficacy of the Quran, and then the Quran? Did you do the math on age? All you had to do was Google up. It would have been less than a 10-minute journey, and you would have known. They didn't Google it up. Google is putting their research for you to read. So what did they do? From 1969 till 2024, these are identity definitions now. They're not just internal markers. They are mandatory definitions. And you know them. You're in Manchester, for God's sakes. You cannot call certain people he or she, or whatever you guys have here going on in England. I do not know. If you do that, you will be sued and fined with big money. You will be apprehended, if not reprimanded, if not both. This only happens when these things come into play. What happens here? Now I'm going to give you another case study. Forget LGBT, okay? This is the climate change community. You know what a climate change community does, right? They're trying to clean up planet Earth. Everybody knows ozone because of them. Everybody knows carbon dioxide and whatever they need to put inside our heads. Now, they believe in something, so they started doing something from an individual to a small cluster to a bigger cluster, which they call a lobby, and different lobbies come together to form legislation and policies. A lot of money needs to be collected. So they do all of these things so that it can go political. Once it goes political, everybody needs to follow it. So I'm not here against LGBT. I'm not here for climate change. I'm here so that you can know the recipe. That people right in front of you are going to start something, and in less than 10 years it's going to become a thing, and in less than 20 years it's going to become a law, and you'll be like, what did it take for all of these guys to become so vital and so, credible and so listened to and so heard about and then so powerful? You know how many LGBT community, what is the actual registered number of all the registered LGBT people in the world are? Anybody? Biggest problems in England for your Muslim kids, and you don't even know what the enemy is or how many. Come on, seriously, nobody ever did that? I wish 5 million. 5 million only in Manchester, come on. I'm kidding, okay? I do not know the Manchester stats. Here is what actually happens. I did a surgery and reverse engineered so that Muslims can come into a movement. This is the whole corpus of coming here. You know how many slides there are in here? More than 600 slides. Follow this one. I'm not going to open any one of them. You can take them home, read about how to create a power structure and how to become a movement and how to become a law. Okay? It's all right. Here is where the problem is. This is the trap. Now the trap is, unless you have ghazala, self-esteem, unless you have high self-esteem, okay? And ghazala, you represent most of my mothers and sisters and daughters. So it's not about you. It's about my mommy. It's not about my mommy. It's about me. Okay? Still, a Pakistani crossing a street of Manchester, whenever any white man says, hey, you know what? You speak really good English. The Pakistani, you know what he does? He feels good. He feels good. You know why? Because this little weasel is looking for validation. Validation. Because when you're looking for validation, you have zero self-esteem. When you validate, that's when you have self-esteem. Okay? And no amount of English or no amount of Urdu has anything to do with self-esteem. Otherwise, every person who could speak a language would either have high self-esteem or not speak a language would have low self-esteem. Okay? So it's not the language. So what do you do? Self-esteem in Pakistan and India is stripped off in the first 10 years of a child's life. Like the way this mommy is, look, mommy's talking to the daughter. This is what's going on. I do not know what they're talking about. I'm not talking about them right here. It's just a metaphor, okay? So when a mother or a father talks to the son or daughter at this age and does not counsel him into high self-esteem, people are not going to develop it for him. No one is going to develop, because everyone is going to develop his own or her own self-esteem in front of you. They're going to echo it, practice it like ping pong, and the more they're going to get the echo, the higher they're going to prosper. On the price of stripping you off of it. That is why I need you guys. I need you guys to develop this boy, stand up please, this boy into believing that once he's done his homework, he can teach His Highness, King Charles himself, a thing or two about running a country. Because he's done his homework. It's not arrogance, it's research and belief. But we know what happens. Forget King Charles. Forget anybody else, whoever is in power. Any boy, by the way, this boy is not going to have that kind of a marker of a low self-esteem Pakistani, because he was given a higher or deeper a sense of his own self by Manchester. So your mother born in England?
No.
Father born in England?
No.
Okay, so this man, this boy, when he's going to be a man, he's going to be a totally different creature. His folks can't even identify with him, because this boy will be amazed and shocked by the way the self-esteem markers dip on the moments of truth of his father and mother when he's going to see them in public with other people. This is going to be a deal breaker. He is not going to be obedient to you guys, because he will know that you guys have lowered the standard for your own self. This boy does not even know why you're doing it, so he's going to make his own opinions about why you're doing it. Because he was not born in Pakistan and knows that har jagah pe, har saas, har nand, har boss, har dost, gaadiyan, ghar, paise, plot, siyasat, Shawaz Sharif, Nawaz Sharif, sab mila milu ke aapki saakht banti hai. He doesn't know that. You know what he's taught here? Then unless you know what you're talking about, you can't put your money, you got to put your money where your mouth is. You got to do your homework, and then you can challenge anything. He's too young to do that right now, but that's the definition he's getting. So you need to understand why there's going to be a big dissonance between him and his own father, your husband. So I am going to rely, because he's going to ask simple questions the way all of these kids ask simple questions. In Bradford, a little boy asks, will I go to hell because I did not do anything about Palestine? You know how simple this is? This is more stronger than the first law of motion from Sir Isaac Newton from England. Your England. First law of motion. This is the first law of motion of a high self-esteem. Will I not be questioned? Should I not be questioned is the second stage. That kid was too young to say should, but he was thinking on the right lines. So, sit down, thanks. This is where these two things come, the bigger purpose and the esteem markers. So, what's the landscape right now? The landscape is simple. That's why I'm going to say that in English, because my whole movement is going to be tanked if I say that in Urdu. And you'll know why. I'm going to speak English, strictly English. Low self-esteem people with a high purpose, even if they are on a high purpose, because most Muslim clerics are not on a high purpose. They're all about you and your family. They define Islam around your family like a cocoon. They wrap Islam around you, shell you in there. You can be the greatest Muslim if you are true to your wife and your kids, and you're going to be honored in the day of judgment. I know. You know why they do that? They define the purpose wrong. Because if they alter the purpose to a bigger stretch, everybody would know that they're not qualified to talk about it, because they themselves are failing on it. That's why, mommies and daddies, you give lectures to your kids on those things which they know, which you know that they know that you're good at. So a smoker cannot tell his child not to smoke, because he knows his son's going to be like, Daddy, if it's so bad, why are you smoking? So he says everything else except smoking. Just like that, a Muslim cleric in England or America or Pakistan, they're not going to define this purpose bigger than your own household. I showed you the LGBT, I showed you the climate change community. Now I'm going to show you the real performers. How a community works together, and you know those names. You can see those faces, you'll be like, oh, I know them. I'm going to show it to you. Don't worry, before I go. The biggest, most effective community, every man for the team, every team for the man. Blood, sweat, tear, money, space, effort, everything. Everyone for everybody. I want to show it to you. But first, bigger purpose. So any Muslim that I speak with, everywhere I go, I'm like, you know what? When the Prophet said, the whole Muslims are a single organism, man. Why are you playing the Pakistan card or the India card or this card or that card, man? Why are you splitting the whole, nucleus into smaller little atoms? In Melbourne, Australia, I was standing, and there's a very famous cleric. I'm not going to name who. Actually, you can cut that off of the camera, because I can tell you guys. There were 3 people touring Australia. Me, Javed Ahmed Ghamdi Sahab, and Numan Ali Khan. Same day, same city. With no plan ahead of it, because they did not know my tour. I didn't know their tour. So, it so happened that I was standing in the stage of Melbourne, packed house, and this guy says, global purpose, Sahil Adeem. Can you prove that from the Quran? Can you prove that from the Quran that Allah is giving us a global purpose? And I said, so are you implying that in the Quran, Allah is not giving us the global purpose? And he says, that's exactly what I'm implying. Because the Quran talks about the man, the individual, okay? And it talks about the righteousness of the man, the giving, the sacrifice of the man, the tazkiyah of the man or the woman. When is it spinning you into a global motion around this planet for everybody? Who died and made you Mother Teresa? You understand me? I know I answered him. I want you to tell me that you understood where he's coming from. Because most of the Muslims are exactly on that disposition. That's called the purpose. Ask any cleric of Islam, any, especially in England, what is the purpose of Islam, sir? That's our core belief. What is the purpose? I know what it demands from me, but what is the purpose of Islam? What will happen if I do everything which you are telling me the Quran is demanding upon me? You know what it'll be like? You're going to be a good Muslim. That's the purpose of their book, to make individuals 8 billion good people, regardless of whatever is happening to the other person. That's why our army, our government thinks they're great Muslims, even though we all know through common sense that they can be great Pakistanis, but they're not great Muslims. You let 100,000 of my kids die without even staring at the enemy in his eyes, let alone doing everything that you could have done. And when India came with some of its planes and some of its army, you had the biggest marketing campaign about how mighty you are and how much of a terror you can strike in the hearts of Indians. And you're using the word Islam now. So how come, if it's not global, and I'm going to tell you where it says global in the Quran, but if it's not global, how come it became a national book for all Muslims? Where does it say national in the Quran? You know why they're using national? All the clerics are using the word national in Pakistan or India or Afghanistan or Bangladesh or English Muslims. You know why? Because they are making sure that they get that certificate to keep doing what they're doing from the people who they're afraid of. That's it. That is it. That's why the LGBT community I started there. Everybody thought they were sick. And they didn't stop. They didn't stop even if we were putting them in hospitals. They didn't stop. They started giving lectures, writing books, writing articles, convincing people, collecting money, making clusters, influencing people. And even at that time, no president or prime minister at that time in the 60s or 80s or 70s or 90s was gay or a lesbian. How come they were getting, real into this? Everybody got real into it because they were consistent and they were not on this disposition. In Toronto, the Muslim women took to the streets, Neelam, Muslim women took to the streets against the LGBT curriculum in schools in Toronto. Toronto is a city in Canada, okay? Muslim women, everywhere, You see all, the Muslim women, they scream, man. Can they scream or what? So they were screaming. Everybody was like, whoa, it's the first time we heard that kind of a scream. What's going on? Desi women screaming? Who wouldn't hear, right? So everybody came together. The government got involved. What kind of strike is this? Strike against the curriculum of LGBT inside our schools. So the Minister of Education came in Toronto to address the Muslim women. And she says, I too am a woman. I too am a mother. I can understand what you're going through. And these Muslim women were like, awesome, white chick. A white chick. Just like the Prime Minister of New Zealand, right? Coming to Christchurch, wearing the dupatta. So a white chick. And she says, I too am a mother. I too am a woman. And I too am a lesbian.
20-minute break now.
Okay. And that's the difference between you all women and these women, because we actually made sure that we have the right people in the right place, with the right brains and the right mind. You guys could be in the right place. You are the wrong people for this job that you're trying to do. You don't amount to anything. 20-minute speech. Obviously, she didn't use these words. She's a politician. But she used all the words in the dictionary to make sure that no Muslim woman is ever going to uprise against LGBT curriculum in the books in schools. She was so gutsy. The audacity of the woman was that she once, during her speech, said, if it were so wrong, even I am a lesbian. Even I am a lesbian. If it were so wrong, I wouldn't have been convinced into it. As if she's the authority on all human beings. Even I. It took 20 minutes to kill all of that movement that Muslim women had started for 3 months straight up. 20-minute speech. Nobody stood there, Razala. Nobody stayed there. Nobody stayed there. Nobody said, you know what, I'm not moving. Not about the curriculum now. It's about you. It's about you and me now. It's your esteem against my esteem now. We're going to battle it out now. Nobody. You know why? Because you can compete a dumb man with a smart man. You can. People have. Millions of times. It happens every day in Pakistan. Dumb people are competing with smart people. You can do that. And the results are unpredictable. You'll be amazed at the kind of results dumb people have been able to achieve. It's amazing. But you can never, ever make a low self-esteem person compete with a person of high self-esteem. You cannot do that. That's against all the laws of nature. That's why from the day of Adam a.s. coming to this planet till yesterday, not even a single event you can tell me where a low self-esteem person stood up against a high self-esteem person, regardless of who's right or who's wrong. That's the problem. So what do they do? The low self-esteem people, when they are talking about the book, They only talk about those things which do not enlighten the people on their own guilt. Hell, they don't even feel guilty. That's why they low self-esteem, right? That's where the problem is. That's why I know most of the sisters and most of the brothers are not going to remember this session more than a couple of days, maybe 3. But this boy or this girl, which I am trying to sow the seeds in, this can be a life changer. This can be the moment of their life where you were given that moment from us, all of us were given that moment when we were 10 or 11, कि बेटा ऐसे ही होता है इधर, ज़्यादा पर निकालेगी तो बदचलन कहलाएगी, रेपुटेशन डैमेज हो जाएगी तेरी, तुझसे कोई शादी नहीं करेगा. ये 8वें और 10वें साल के जुमले हैं. एंड हमें पता है हमें क्या बात हुई थी कि जो बहादुर होता है ना वो जल्दी मर जाता है. It's not about who's right, it's about who's alive. That's the statement we were given. That stupid man who wanted to change the world is lying down on his own grave so peacefully now. And I'm saying this to my own son in front of a grave of some martyr. But this Manchester son of mine is going like, Daddy, so how many thousands of years are you planning to stay on this planet without going into your own grave? This is not about bravery or cowardice. It's about self-esteem. So, where's the trap? So if I give a big purpose to you guys, and you do not have the right esteem to pick up that purpose, you are going to go through divorce, nihilism, depression. You're going to go through lack of your own identity, irritation, frustration, anxiety, general anxiety disorder, from regular GAD, general anxiety disorder, to bipolar disorder. This is what's going on in the Muslims, militias, where most of the militia people are bipolar patients. Because nobody worked on them when they were young, and everybody started working on them in their late teens and whatnot. And once they got the true picture, Dr. Israr ko sun liya, Maududi ko pad liya. And everybody, I'm going to do this. He's not developed. He's gone. He is not going to be fit to be your son or your brother or your daughter or your wife or your husband. Plus, they become judgmental. Most religious people are so judgmental, we can't even walk the street in front of them because their low self-esteem is calling out their vacuums in our behavior. I know. We're going to continue this after your tiny little lunch. It's called a lunch break. I know. We're Pakistanis, we're Indians. 20 minutes. 20. Listen. If it were up to me, and I did delay it in front of you, this shouldn't have been a showstopper. Okay? But you know what? I know. Take a test, take a poll. You're going to take a poll. What's your name, sir? Arsalan, you're going to take a poll. That if I had to miss that lunch, you would have listened to one statement, top of the mind, one statement. That's the kind of Muslims we are. He promised us lunch, didn't give it. You understand? My Islam is going to be, even though their definition of coming here was lunch, not Islam. But me putting Islam on the table instead of lunch would have challenged my Islam. For a person who didn't even come for Islam, for lunch. That's the poll. You can hear in every Pakistani community. Khana hai? Lunch hai? Allah hai? Koi farak nahi padta. Rasool hai na? Khana hai? You know what I'm saying? So the organizer, I didn't speak to him or her. I'm thinking her, Humara. I didn't speak to her. But I know if she had not put in lunch, this crowd would have been 1% of its size. I'm telling you this. Arsalan, make sure, Arsalan, why I'm telling you this. These events and rituals, these outreach programs, where is it? These outreach programs, this is an outreach program for my community, Muslim community, my movement, the IMS. My call for Palestine, my call for wherever, any human being, let alone a Muslim, any human being. I'm trying to prepare these ones. But this they're doing for free. People are paying to come in. We have to feed to bring in. They're paying to come in. They're not doing for Allah Azza wa Jal. They don't even believe in the Day of Judgment. Maybe they do. Most of them don't. We believe in the eternity of billion years of either torment or delight. Billion years. Well, billion is less. And still, I need to fulfill a 20-second appetite. My esophagus to my stomach. And by the way, there are no taste buds in the esophagus. It's only this distance. We're trying to pleasure. Just a little tongue. And it's a game changer. Think like a psychologist from now on, okay? Experiment, understand, run the pattern, change the course. You're 13, 14? How old are you? You're 20 what? You're 28? Does he look 28 to you guys? I thought you were 15. Okay, well, you're right on the cusp, okay? So you make sure you understand why I'm telling the boys, not the uncles, the girls, not the aunties, okay? So we're going to continue this. Please, I know I'm going to get more efficiency if your taste buds are going to be in sync with your brain cells, okay? 20 minutes. What's the time right now? 5:30. 5:30. So by 5:50. We meet at 5:50, inshallah. I got to run. Okay. Okay, here is the here's the camera. Here you go. You got a picture, yeah. What's your name? What's your name?
Alian.
Alian. And what's your name?
Alpha.
Arfa. Alian. Oh, yeah. Okay. You good? अभी तो अभी पूछे ना
मुझे होम स्कूलिंग के बारे में बात करनी है
या बीच में से बात करें आप Okay, let's reconvene, please. Let's reconvene. Order in the court. Gee, anybody sitting on any question? Oh, really? Yes, sir. Yeah, you. Did you not raise your hand? Do I know? 2 questions. What's your name? Abdullah. Abdul what? Abdul Ahad. Ahad is the key word here. Huh? Say it properly. Abdul Ahad. 10. What do you say? Yeah, you're 10-year-old, right? Ahad?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your question?
So the first one is, how did the Jahaliya stop? Like the age that when people in Saudi Arabia, all the Christian science started.
Can you take a picture again? Maybe because
Why did the Shaitan called the child before he used to be an angel? Why did he go against Allah?
So there are 2 different questions. So what was the first question? How did Jahaliya stop? Start.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh. What is Jahiliya, Abdullah?
The age of ignorance.
What is it? What does it mean?
So when people went against
People, just give me pointers, okay? People did what? Number 1? Worship the idols. Number 2? Truth what? Think. Take your time. Don't worry. Take your time. Worship the idols and did what? Well, Islam was not there. Think. So in India, close to 1 billion people are worshipping idols. That's part of the religion. Is that Jahiliyyah? So we're still in Jahiliyyah? Yeah, but that's just one indicator, right? You got to match a few more. Think. Take your time. Jane, next question. Take your time. I'm waiting.
How did Shaitan go against Allah?
Not how, but why. Because how is very easy. The way you go against your father is the same mechanism, right? How is very easy. He says, no, I'm not going to do that.
Why did Shaitan?
Why? Yeah, that's the question.
Why did Shaitan go against Allah?
Yeah. So do you know what was going on around that time? It's a very exciting story. It's way more exciting than any video game that you're going to go through or any Netflix that you're going to see, okay? So the whole universe was filled with two armies. The big universe. The universe. The universe. What do you call that here in England? Universe, right? Am I speaking in an accent? So Allah had the whole universe was full of two armies, eh? You know what an army, innit? Armies, angels, and jinns were fighting with each other, day in, day out. Billions and billions of them. For what? For what? The Prophet ﷺ said that when Adam ﷺ was not there, jinns took arms against the angels. And angels were led by a jinn. Okay? Those jinns became aggressive. They broke all the laws of Allah. So there were laws. They knew the laws. They broke them. Why? Everybody wanted some power. So they tried to oppress whatever they could possibly to claim some sort of power about in front of their friends. Okay? So those little fragments became armies. And those two armies fought with each other. It's not about piece of land, because they were in every planet, everywhere. Okay? So the angels, who were led by a jinn, they fought that big war, and they won the war. So much so that Prophet ﷺ said that the angels beat the jinns into an island, and they shackled them into that island forever, for good. When that happened, the army of Allah, right? Hizbullah, that's the army of the angels, right? That dude who was leading the army was a jinn. He said, I've done the biggest, it was the biggest incumbent upon me to make sure that the purpose is fulfilled. So he wanted something in return. In other words, there was greed. He was not doing it for Allah, he was doing it for himself. Okay? So if you're doing the right thing, but not for Allah, for yourself, for whatever other purpose, that's what Allah taught us, that this is going to make you go bad. So since he wanted the whole emperorship, Allah said, I've already made an emperor for all of those terrestrial planes in the universe. So he said, who's that emperor? Who's that guy? Because I know everybody. Half of them are dead. Half of them are under me. Who's this third guy? Right? All the angels are under him. All the jinns he just beat and, jail them into an island. So who are you making an emperor? And Allah says, I am making a new species altogether. This is going to rule on behalf of me. Because when they're going to go clean, they're going to go totally clean. Because if you went clean, and on the moment of truth came, you were all about yourself. So he wanted the same thing that Allah gave our father, Adam a.s. You got it? That's why he went against Allah's Rasul. Okay? Yes. Fix the microphone? You can't hear me? You can't hear me? You can hear me. I'm not wearing your backup, eh? Or am I? Okay. G. So, no more questions? Yes. I'm going to come to the kids, don't worry. Yeah. Yeah.
As for our previous discussion, what I'm feeling and what I understand about self-esteem, yes, a system around us, surroundings, a system in which we are living, it also affects on our self-esteem.
Yeah.
In that.
It affects it. It's not self-esteem. My school is not my self-esteem. My friends are not my self-esteem.
So how a person at a personal level would help himself or herself to build a self-esteem?
If he's broken already? Okay. So I was talking about first building it. Now you're talking about people who've broken it. How to fix it. Okay, yeah, let me get to that. I'm going to get to that, don't worry. First, understand why you should build it or why you should mend it, right? Because the first thing about low self-esteem is that whoever has low self-esteem, the first thing he's going to do is he's going to make sure that nobody else finds out. Okay? So you can't just tell. You can see his actions and read into it. He's not going to say it. Okay? So, now, first, understand self-esteem is not the solution. You have high self-esteem, that's not going to solve your problem. You still need to have a bigger purpose. If you don't combine these two things, nothing's going to happen. If anything, the biggest enemies of Islam had the highest self-esteem. Abu Jahl had high self-esteem. Okay? You need to understand, the lobby is giving Netanyahu a pretty good bite on the self-esteem as well.
So a system is working.
So whoever is working in Pakistan, the worst part of Pakistan is the people in power, the higher they go, you can see the lowest self-esteem people are in the highest amount of power. Actually, it's an English phrase. It's pretty famous. An Irish nun once told me. She said, there cannot be more damage when you put a small man in a big place. Small means low self-esteem. Big place means power. So if you put a small man in a big, powerful place, that's the biggest damage to this planet. A big man in a big place does not do that kind of damage because he understands the math. The low self-esteem guy is going to do whatever it takes to prove that he's right. Yeah.
आपने अभी कहा कि जो पाकिस्तानी पेरेंट्स थे उन्होंने अपने बच्चों की सेल्फ एस्टीम को डैमेज किया है या किया है तो ऑलरेडी डैमेज हो चुका है अब उसको कैसे और कैसे होगा अगर पाकिस्तानी बच्चे वालिदैन हैं तो फिर वो शक्ल तो चलता रहेगा तो फिर ये कैसे
You're in Manchester?
हर जगह
So Manchester is going to build up their... I can get my definition of my own esteem from different philosophies, different channels. I can get it from a group of people who are in my football team. I can go to the church. I can go to the masjid. Okay? I can look at a lot of elders who are giving me a lot of guidance. Channels are different. My proposition, my problem, my contention is, that masjid is the only building in the planet right now which is not giving any self-esteem to a Muslim. It's not designed to do that. बल्कि मस्जिद जाके आपकी सेल्फ एस्टीम और लो हो जाती है. You need to understand the problem. You know when the black movement was going on in America? Anybody knows? Anyone has read that? Are you guys familiar with Martin Luther King Jr. and his work? Malcolm X, have you heard the names? Yeah, how do you think they became a community? They were at the lowest self-esteem. They were slaves, literally. The word slave was their identity. How can a slave have high self-esteem, right? A slave, by the way, means a guy with no self-esteem. That's a slave. In psychology, you're a slave to somebody's thoughts, somebody's own ideology. So how did they go into, this movement, and it turned the whole country around, the world around? They had 0 people in politics, in positions of power. They had 0 money. They still did it. We are not at that level of, let's just say we have a lot of money. Actually, we are pretty rich. Muslims are pretty rich around the world. We are in power in every country in Muslim land. We are in power. So power and money is not a problem for us. The definition of Islam is the problem for us. Our Chief of Army Staff does not believe that it is an Islamic duty to help and go to protect wherever Muslims are being persecuted. He does not believe in that Islam. It's not in his Islamic purpose. But when the United Nations sends the Pakistan army to Africa in many missions, there are multiple missions going on in the United Nations, that is his Pakistani duty to go there. You understand me? And Benjamin Netanyahu can stand in the United Nations General Assembly and open the Torah and recite passages from the Torah saying this is a promised land in my own book, even though the whole world is listening to him. The Chinese don't believe in the Torah. The Japanese don't believe in the Torah. All the Muslims and all the Jews and the Christians, the countries which are all of these, only they believe in the Torah. But he's saying it to the world. And no Muslim ever has opened the Quran in the United Nations to recite from the Quran that this is a promise. Inside the Quran, he's right, Mr. Netanyahu is right. God did promise them. And then he said they did not fulfill their end of the bargain. So I am making them the people of punishment. Maghdubi alayhim. That is their identity, the real identity in the book of God. And it is going to be upon Muslims as well, because Allah does not play nepotism. God does not play nepotism. He said it's the same promise. I don't change my course of view. I'm God. I gave it to them as a promise, as a covenant. They didn't fulfill it. Then I gave it to the Christians. They didn't fulfill it. Now I'm going to give it to you. If you don't fulfill it, you are not a favorite of Allah just because you're Muslims. In the Quran, Allah says, I'm going to replace you with people better than you. Allah does not play nepotism. Muslims are not the most favorite people of Allah. Righteousness and the message of God, the covenant, is upon people of righteousness. If it's not going to be Muslims, somebody else. Allah says in the Quran, it's going to be somebody else. So if Netanyahu can stand in the United Nations and say, God promised us, some Pakistani or Indian or anybody in Islam would be like, yeah, you're right, God did promise you. That's past tense, buddy. Then God promised it to the people the disciples of Jesus. Did they take the covenant mission to the world? No, they didn't. Now he's giving it to us. And I'm not saying we're the chosen one. Allah says the message is the chosen message. People could be anybody. So you want to play the book? We got a bigger, fatter book than yours. And this book recognizes your covenant as well. So you can't even say, you know what, your book against my book. No, they can't say that. Our book is not against their book. Inside the Torah, I'm going to tell you the verses where Allah is talking to the Jews saying, if you do not live up to this covenant, you will see the wrath in your own life. Muslims did not get that kind of punishment because the Prophet ﷺ saved us from the punishment on this planet. And the Jews did see that punishment. When the Mount Sinai, Mount Kohetur, was raised up upon them, they were given the covenant And Allah says, if you're not going to live up to it, you're going to see my wrath in your very life and beyond. And they all saw the wrath of God coming down to them. It's called the War of the Maccabees. हदीस सुनी हुई है ना, जब यहूदियों को बंदर बना गया था, वो एक कबीला था, दुनिया में ही सजाएं मिली हैं। कबीला था, उसको वाकई में दुनिया में सजा मिली थी। मुसलमानों को ये सजा नहीं मिलती. Muslims will be punished. The only religion in the world which comes with a guarantee of punishment is Islam to all Muslims. We don't play the chosen ones. The only message book which guarantees hell to its own followers is the Quran. That you're not favorites, buddy. It's a fair game. You want to play it? Play with these rules. If you're not going to play it, sorry. You want to challenge? Come challenge Allah Azza wa Jal directly. We'll see who's the mightier one. That's the challenge of the Quran. So this is where the identity markers come from for a Muslim. That, yeah, I'm not a favorite one. I'm not a narcissist. Just because I believe in the Quran, God does not become my ally. I got to do something. If I'm not going to do something, no angels are going to come in for my help. It's a basic covenant, same covenant to the Jews, to the Christians, to the... Actually, therefore, God starts from Ibrahim alayhi salam, then he goes to Moses, then to Jesus, then to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That I am giving it to everybody, the same thing. I don't change my course. So, make sure this purpose is in all the books except the current lectures of the Muslim clergy. Every book has this. The Torah says the Messiah is going to come. Doesn't the Torah say that? It says that 26 times in the Torah, actually. The Bible is full of thy kingdom come. Don't we all believe in Jesus' second coming? We all believe in that. We're Muslims. Thy kingdom come. So Jesus is going to do what? Global mission, Word of God. Messiah, global mission, Word of God. But when we do this, the Muslims are going to come and say, oh, where did you come up with that from the Quran, Brother Sahil? So that's the answer I gave that brother of mine. Said, have you read the Torah or the Bible? Does it say that explicitly in the Torah and the Bible? Yes, it says that explicitly. That's actually the purpose of the Bible, the corpus of Bible. Book on Jesus, alayhi salam, is thy kingdom come. That the kingdom of God will be established on this planet by Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salam. That's the one-line statement. If you believe in it, good enough. You don't believe in it, then God is not help you. So help you God is not the phrase here. So Allah Azza wa Jal in the Quran says, I remind you of the covenant, O Muslims. That's why I asked that brother in Melbourne, what covenant is Allah reminding us? Because it says in the Torah what's the covenant, in the Bible. What is that covenant Allah is reminding us? You think Allah is going to keep repeating the same message over and over, even though they all believe in it? Allah never even once repeats any message in the Quran which the Jews or the Christians already believed in. Whenever they contradict from whatever Allah is teaching them, Allah in the Quran starts to correct them. But when there is a consensus between Jews, Muslims and Christians, Quran does not come into the recall of the message. Because Allah says, you have to be, if you're a Muslim, you better believe in the Torah. You're a Muslim, you better believe in the Bible. If you're not, if you don't believe in it, you're not a Muslim. So God did not write just one book. वो अलग बात है कि पाकिस्तान में किसी एक मुसलमान को मैं नहीं जानता हूँ जिसने 4 किताबें पढ़ी हों, एक को भी नहीं जानता. वहाँ से आप लोग self esteem लेंगे. People of the Torah have the self esteem. We all know that. They're actually telling any and everyone to bomb wherever our enemy is, and they're going to bomb it because they got no other choice. That's how the lobby works. That's how the power comes. So what happens? This is where I want you to come at. So let's just say, even if you do not have self-esteem, let's just say, but you have the big purpose. There's a shortcut. Then that's what the two sisters have asked. What to do now, sir? I was raised by a mommy or a daddy, just like you, who did not know any better. He's not a psychologist. He did not know this. So now what? I'm old enough. Well, now there is a way. What is the way? Here's the way. This is the way. That unless, if you believe in the purpose, here is the purpose, right? This. If you are this guy without this guy, so you have a purpose but low self-esteem. Let me just draw, I'm assuming you read it, so I'm just going to go through it. If you have a low self-esteem and high purpose, you are going to go through depression and nihilism. You will have a bad marriage. You will have a suicidal set of homemates, which could be kids, self-harmers. You could be a self-harmer. You could be suicidal yourself. Because you have been enlightened by a bigger purpose, the truth, but you did not develop yourself for it. And now you know what is right and wrong, and you cannot do anything about it. That's as much of a syndrome or a disorder as you can get. Because ignorance is a bliss. You can get away with a lot of things if you didn't know any better. But now Quran aa gaya, I taught you the Quran, I teach you the Hadith, and then I give you, you know what, I'm going to take every ability out of you. You're going to see right, and you're going to see wrong. You won't be able to do anything about it. That's as big of a trauma as you can get. It's like a boy or a girl looking at mommy and daddy beating each other up, and he can't even do anything about it. The fact that he cannot do anything about it is what's called a childhood trauma. That's why it's called a childhood trauma. That does not happen to you and me when now my mommy and daddy are going to fight. It's not trauma by any means. That's just a quarrel. That's a test upon me. What am I going to do to keep the grace of my father and mother intact and still make sure both of them are protected? But a child cannot do that. And since he knows he cannot do anything about it, his mind cracks. That's why I said, Islam mil gaya. If you find the Islam and you're not developed to do anything about it, you are a patient. You do not get married then, okay? Do not get married. You are a patient. Do not have kids if you are married, because you are going to harbor patients and disease in your house, mental disease. You will be agitated, judgmental, punishing any and everything that you can because you cannot punish Netanyahu. You're going to be punishing your own wife and kids. It's not just Netanyahu. I'm talking about anything, okay? You're going to see Palestinian videos and you're going to go through a dismissal and you're going to overcompensate your weakness and suppress the weak wherever you're going to find it. That's how big of a problem this is. So, big purpose, low self-esteem. Then high purpose, high self-esteem and no purpose. High self-esteem and no purpose, Imran Khan. Low self-esteem and no purpose, Nawaz Sharif. No, I'm not talking bad. I'm just describing you the disease. Low self-esteem, low purpose, Nawaz Sharif. High self-esteem, low purpose, Imran Khan.
Absolutely not. High self-esteem, high purpose is wrong.
That's very low self-esteem of you to say that. Because you're overcasting the purpose around Imran Khan. Purpose is Allah Azza wa Jal, not Imran Khan. You need to understand. By the way, what is the purpose of Imran Khan? Did he tell you? Because he didn't tell me. What Muslims? Global Muslims? Global Muslims. Ma'am, he was not in the job of speaking. He was in the job for doing. You and I are in the job of speaking. He was in the position of doing, not speaking. You understand me? When we make somebody a prime minister, he better not talk, he better do. Because there's nothing higher than the prime minister. Okay? At least is the word for low self-esteem people. Whenever we're going to reside on at least, it's like, oh, at least he's a man. Even if he's a drug addict, I'm still going to marry. At least he's a man. That's not how you marry a guy, right? You look at most, not at least. Because if you are, relying on at least, and you're setting your standard at least, that means you have esteem issues. You don't think you deserve it. That's why you're settling for at least. You understand me? And I'm the one who said self-esteem is high for Imran Khan. I'm not against him. I'm not against Nawaz Sharif. I'm against the philosophy which is going to corrupt my Muslim child. That's the covenant of Allah Azza wa Jal. You understand me? That actually makes Imran Khan a way more deadly weapon than Nawaz Sharif. Because Nawaz Sharif is an obvious evil. Imran Khan is not an obvious evil. You understand me? Because whatever takes me away from Allah and the Prophet ﷺ, it better not be good looking, because it's going to be tempting. So, and it's not Imran Khan, because he never actually had the power. It's the Pakistan army. They always had the power. But you know what the kind of Islam that they believe in? They believe in even less than the nationalistic Islam. Because even nationalism is not part of their religion. That's just nationalism. That's their true identity. Religion is only for myself and my prayer mat. Religion has nothing to do with Pakistan or India or whatever.
Then it ends up, sir, the Muslim faith that in a secret
Yeah, that's called compensation. That's what I said. He's going to compensate for the vacuums. He's going to come up with virtues around failures. Whenever you're going to find failure in your own self, you're going to virtue signal it. So in Pakistani, Indian, Muslim movies, the victim is always the hero. The rest of the world movies, the guy is going to save the victim is the hero. But in our heads, victim is the hero. That's why all my Pakistani sisters are looking for validation or testimonies or witnesses. देखा ना मेरी सास कितनी जादूगरनी है. देखा है ना का मतलब पता है? Do you testify? You are looking for validation of how ugly your mother-in-law is. Validation? Why do you need validation? Because you got esteem issues going on. You understand me? If you're a victim, why do you need a witness? Why do you need a witness if you're a victim? Because you're not just a victim, you're a victim of low self-esteem. High self-esteem victims, Palestinians. That's called a victim. They're still standing on their feet. High self-esteem victims. Low self-esteem Pakistanis, they should run away from there. They should run away from there. That's Pakistani Muslim clergy saying that. Islamic speakers saying that they should run away from there. What are they doing there? High self-esteem Muslims are saying, we are responsible for whatever. We should run to them. A high self-esteem guy never blames anyone. That's the first thing about esteem. If you're going to blame somebody, you have no self-esteem. Okay? So Imran Khan in jail, your problem. You are responsible. You're PTI, right? You're responsible. By the way, that's the first time in Pakistan or human history that the most popular guy was beaten in the streets, thrown in jail, sentenced to things which he never even committed. And none of his followers broke him out. That's what happens when you are a leader of a low self-esteem nation. They don't even come to save their own hero. That's why I know we're not going to go to Palestine. We didn't even go for Imran Khan. He was in our own home. We didn't save him. Those Hanadis and those Fatimas and those Aishas in Palestine are not even in our home. How are we going to save them? No. So you need to understand this is low self-esteem, high purpose, disorder. High self-esteem, low purpose. And then high self-esteem and high purpose. That's where I need you to start structuring this boy or this girl. Lena, Lena Islam, right? Lena should have the gift of self-esteem from you and the gift of high purpose from wherever you're going to get a lecture or teacher or wherever. His teacher or her teacher are not going to give them a purpose, esteem. They do not have enough handle to develop esteem. They're going to try, they're going to motivate the hell out of them, but motivation does not lead to self-esteem. Definition, responsibility, being accountable for not living up to your responsibility, that develops self-esteem. So, sister, what's your name? You asked me this question. What's your name?
I'm Saima.
Saima, you asked me, how can an adult now, around this system, develop the self-esteem now that we're here? Well, same rule applies. This boy's name is Roshan. Roshan, if he makes a mistake, and if he gets away with it because you approve of that mistake, you've killed his esteem. You made a self-loving Pharaoh out of him. This is Pharaoh on the left. This is narcissism on the right. That's the extreme of two spectrums. And all the Pakistani women think that self-loving guy is a narcissist. Narcissist is not a self-loving guy. Narcissist is a self-hating guy. Okay? Every Pakistani woman I meet, every other obviously, my husband is a narcissist. What does he do? He's in love with himself. That's not a narcissist. A narcissist hates himself. And since he loads himself so much that if something reminds him of his vacuum or his weakness, he bullies that guy and boasts as if it is his strength. He masks his weakness, masks him as his strengths. That's narcissist. Pharaoh was not a narcissist. Pharaoh was in love with himself. He's an arrogant person. He had convinced himself he had no vacuums in his own personality according to him. So you're going to love him too much, you're going to make a disease for Muslims. You're not going to put him accountable for his mistakes, you're still going to make a disease. And if you're going to put him in trouble for things he didn't even do, and you're not going to give him enough love for whenever he needed it, you're still going to make a disease out of him. So, Saima, understand, are you accountable for the things that you yourself should be in your own life right now, at your age? If you are, and you're punishing yourself for it, then you're going to develop your esteem right now. It's a very hard therapy because this kid does not feel embarrassed in front of people for the sake of getting embarrassed. You are. You got too much of a reputation going on, okay? That boy doesn't even know what that means. So you are going to put yourself accountable in front of other people. 3 more layers to breach before you can actually do that. That's why I keep mentioning Fyodor Dostoevsky, Crime and Punishment. The book. Every Muslim should read this. Every mother should read this. How a boy in Islam, in our own bedrooms and living rooms and drawing rooms and football and cricket stadiums, in his friend circles, if he ever makes a mistake, he should be the biggest punishment on his own self. But we have trained our kids that if you can get away from even murder or whatever, then you are a smart boy. If you can get away from any crime, that means you have a high stock value in my index. You are not punishing your own sons, and when a nation's mother stops punishing their own sons for the crime they commit, then Allah Azza wa Jall's wrath directly comes upon every one of those peoples. That's why I say कि बुज़दिल माँ के घर डरपोक बच्चे पैदा होते. You are the women who can see through and through. ये तो कहाँ पे होते हैं सारे? They can't even know what they're up to because you are the only telescopes and microscopes upon them. So build it. Now, once you build the esteem, you make sure you translate the word of God the way it's supposed to be. And you can easily tell. सबसे आसान काम पता क्या है? एक low self-esteem के मुस्लिम और एक high self-esteem के मुस्लिम के बीच में तफरीक करना. You can mix between a low and high esteem Christian. You can mix between a low and high esteem Jewish guy, or a politician, or any kind of missionary. You cannot get confused between a low esteem Muslim and a high esteem Muslim. Because every Muslim knows the seerah and what the Prophet ﷺ did at these kind of occasions. And everyone knows, you know what? Just because he's not doing it, I'm not going to say anything because I too am not doing it. Okay, so we know the Jews are not taught the life of Moses. They're not taught it as a book. Christians are not taught the life of Jesus as a book. Muslims are taught the life of Muhammad ﷺ as a book. Jews do not have the sayings of Moses A.S., Musa A.S. as a book. Christians do not have sayings of Jesus A.S. as a book. Muslims have more than 350,000 written ahadith in books which are in every Muslim household. And I'm going to give you an average count from the big 6 books, or the big 8 books we call. If you add Musnad Ahmad, the count doubles, 700,000. Because Musnad Ahmad itself is a collection of hundreds and thousands of hadiths. Every Muslim, every week, at least once a week, he says, hadith ye, hadith ye, hadith ye. Jews and Christians do not talk about their prophets like this. We use our prophet on a daily, hourly basis. Actually, we quote our prophet way more than we quote the Quran. So a low self-esteem Muslim can easily be filtered out. Actually, you know what? A high self-esteem Muslim can easily be filtered out because most of them are not. And that's what you all go through. What we all go through when we see people like, Maududi or Asrar or wherever. I'm not just naming two. There's so many who are trying to do the right thing or saying the right thing. Everyone says, "Kya to theek hi raha hai yaar." वो अलग बात है, मैंने करना है नहीं करना इस बारे में. He's saying the right thing. It makes sense because you know what? The stencil is in front of us. The stencil of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So make sure, unless you do have both of these, this is not going to happen. So let's just assume that you guys have. Let's just say we all have low self-esteem. So there's a way around this. What is the way around this? If a bigger purpose carries enough people, regardless of their esteem issues, enough people with the same purpose, then it can and has happened plenty of times. Plenty of times. So I'm going to give you an example. Being a gay was a mental illness in the world. That means every lesbian or a gay naturally has to have esteem issues in that world at that time. And that's not too far. I know so many lesbians and gays because I lived in Canada and America, and they used to hide the fact that they're lesbians and gays. They still do, by the way. They still do. No matter how open the law is, they still do. So why do they have to hide it? If you had to hide your Islam in England, we can't even use the word self-esteem then, right? By the way, in Australia, I went to Sydney, and the biggest complaint about Sydney people were that Sydney Muslims don't declare their Islam. And by the way, they do not have that kind of Islamophobia in Australia. You know why they start hiding Islam? Take a wild guess. No, oh gosh, itni unki gairat hoti na. No, because Australia was voting for Israel in the United Nations. They themselves thought that, you know what, if we are Muslims, some bad thing is going to happen to us. That's how shameful the level of problem is. So once you get here, I just showed you the whole tenure of the LGBT community or the climate change community. Let me just see if I can actually show you this. Hold on, let me show you this. No, I cannot show you this. This is too much. What happened here?
President diet.
What did you say?
I think President diet.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to go into depth. So here, so focus on this slide, please. This is going to be a little technical. I'm going to make sure even kids know about this. So don't worry. I'm not going to make it technical, okay? Yeah, questions, ask me, because this is the final slide. After that, I'm going to go back to the pyramid and show you how to make that pyramid. This is the problem. This is how God made us. Okay? This is in every child, in every single child born anywhere in the planet. This is the order of the child. This child naturally has empathy. This child naturally has a sense of fairness. If he does something wrong, he naturally is not proud of it. He naturally tries to hide it. Everybody knows this is the natural order of the man. And then there is this, where the mommy and daddy comes in. That's not the natural order. This is where we first and foremost change the definition of the man. Here, the self-preservation, that's what is written, okay? So, जब अल्लाह ने कहा था ना एक इंसान की जान बचाना सारी इंसानियत की जान बचाना है, साथ ही अम्मी ने कहा था वो एक इंसान तू है बेटा, अपनी जान बचाई, सारी इंसानियत की छोड़ अपनी जान बचा. You understand me? That's why 1000 साल की दुआओं की दरख्वास्त रोज 5 दफ़ा इसके लिए हो रही है, इसकी अम्मी की जाए नमाज पे. So when mothers are going to ask for thousands of years of age for their sons, that means they cannot fulfill anything in the Quran. The Quran is against the 1,000 years of prayer. The Quran is exactly the opposite of 1,000 years of lives and prayers for that. So you are in a totally different book altogether. And not just for your sons, but your husbands as well, right? And hence yourselves. So when you know that self-preservation is the central tenet of our parenting model, there are only two models, by the way. One is the self-preservation, one is the
community
preservation of others. Okay? One is the self, one is others. The Quran was on the preservation of everyone, hence others. We are on the preservation of our own self. So as soon as we put self here, all the definitions change. All the definitions change. And once the definition change, our definitions of career, success, failure, progress, smart, dumb, good, bad, and most of all, right and wrong changes. That's why you define the career in such a beautiful way. In such a beautiful way. Because every man knows that. I don't know how amazing you got that book published. हर लड़की को आती है वो किताब, और हर लड़के को पता है उस किताब में सवालों के आंसर क्या हैं, वरना रिश्ते ही ना होते ना हमारे. We know the answer to your question, and you say yes, and then says kabul hai all the time. Imagine that. आप तो कभी मिली भी नहीं थी हमसे शादी से पहले, मगर हमें पहले ही पता था कि आपके सवाल क्या है. How did that magic happen? कुरान हमने एक नहीं किया, निकाह नामा लेकिन हमने एक कर लिया है. कुरान का मतलब नहीं पता, ना डेप्थ पता, निकाह नामे की एक एक चीज पता है. इमेजिन, लड़के भी आपस में ही बात कर रहे होते हैं, कहाँ मिली जॉब, वहाँ मिली है, फलां टाइप की लड़की मिलेगी अब तुझे. यू क्वालिफाई फॉर द हायरार्की, देयर इज अ हायरार्की ऑफ गर्ल्स. लीग सेटिंग, 10 लाख की जॉब पे फला टाइप की लड़की, 5 लाख के पे फला टाइप, 1 लाख पे फला टाइप, 50,000 पे कोई लड़की नहीं, कोई टाइप नहीं. And when they're going to plot the picture of the girl at 1 million a month, they will actually draw the right picture. You know those girls too. You know what I'm saying? How come that got so well synced? Because this got synced. So, how do we qualify girls? Because they qualify us through this. We qualify girls how? Somehow, the true Muslim girl has a very sharp nose and certain inches on the waist. The true Muslim girl. Imagine, मुसलमानों की बेटी मांगनी है मगर हमें पता है नाक पतली नहीं होगी तो ये मुसलमानों की बेटी नहीं है, कमर पतली नहीं होगी तो मुसलमानों की बेटी नहीं है. रिश्ते की डेफिनेशन कहाँ से आ रही है? Well, now I earned it, buddy. I make certain amount of money. I got this and that. ये कहाँ से आ रहा है? The definitions have been changed. You want me to throw a litmus test and make sure you have nightmares tonight? I'll give you a nightmare. None of the Sahabis, none, would have gotten married if a current Pakistani Indian Muslim woman were to choose their husbands. None of them. Imagine that. So you think we're going to build a community? These single girls who are qualifying with certain parameters cannot have the kind of babies with high self-esteem. You see where the cause is now? You need to understand, Sahabas had high self-esteem because they had cultural definition set properly. The definition of honor and dignity was intact. The definition of protectiveness and community building was intact. Hence, the Quran went right in the perfect timing when the community was coming at its peak. हम पे भी कुरान आ सकता था, हमने अपने इस काबिल किया ही नहीं अपने आप को. वो जाहलिया में, Abdullah, the Jahiliya people, the man of Jahiliya was still man enough to be chosen by Allah for the Quran. Imagine that. They had no knowledge. They had every practice going wrong. But since there are some certain definitions right. You know what those definitions are? That if somebody goes down, everybody goes down. So Hussein a.s., when he's going to fight Yazid, he looks back. No one's coming for him. He looks back and he says, what happened to you Arabs? He didn't say Muslims. He said, what happened to you Arabs? You were better than this before Islam. When a man who was, somebody ripped him off and he was a merchant and he stood inside the Kaaba and he says, where is the dignity of Arabs for this one guy who's oppressed by one of you guys? They swindled me out of my money. And I'm a stranger in this town, and you're not going to come and protect a stranger because he's not one of you, even though you oppress him. And every Arab leader came together and they made a pact that we're going to protect the oppressed no matter what. And they did so. And that Hilful Fadul, that's the pact. Hussein al-Islam invoked, and he says, I do not invoke Islam, for you have forgotten every definition my grandfather taught you. I invoke the treaty of Hilful Fadul because that flows through your blood. You've forgotten the very definitions because of the fear that you've actually put on your own self from Yazid. So why I'm telling you this is not a sermon on what to do. This is about why. So you tell me, I'm talking to English Muslims. Should I take a test, which I did in Bradford, I did in London, I did one in Glasgow, I did two sessions in Glasgow. What was the main motivator for any one of your family decision makers to come to England. You'll find out, they said that was the motivator right there. You know, in Pakistan, people are now trying to, you know what they're saying? अपनों को छोड़ के बाहर जा रहा, ये कौन सा इस्लाम है? इंग्लैंड में सिखाएगा तू? That's what they say now. So you tell me, did you guys come to England as the missionary movement went to Japan from England? No. Did you guys come from Pakistan, a Muslim land, to England as the missionary English went to Philippines or Brazil or this? No, you guys are not missionaries of that kind. You're a missionary of a different kind. You know what that missionary is called? The self-preserver. So why? Why am I giving you, a repeat telecast or whatever you already know? Because this boy is going to have two different philosophies coming into his head. Save yourself. That's smart. And then save everybody. And that's smart. And then he's going to look into all of those human beings. They will like, dude, nobody else is going. Nobody else is going. There is a lot of money, girls, fame, fortune. Everything that my body demands is on this side. No one is here. And even if somebody goes there, he doesn't really get any fame, fortune, cars and Ferraris and all of that. Why should I go there when the people who actually are elder and matter, they recognize and validate this? So I'm better off doing this. He's not going to have anybody to latch on to here. And that's why you need high self-esteem people, because high self-esteem people don't require anybody else. They're the first drop of the rain. A low self-esteem is always going to wait for others to do, and I'm going to follow. So you are not going to be questioned only for your own self. You'll be like, आपको तो पता था कि क्या गलती हुई है, एक लेक्चर चली गई थी आप, इसके साथ तो रिपीट कैसे किया आपने? That means you were not sincere to him, because you didn't believe in the day of judgment, which Zarnab says, right? Why don't people believe in the day of judgment? Well, yeah, you are a living proof that people don't believe in. Otherwise, the cycle would not have repeated. आपके साथ तो सास ने जबरदस्ती की थी, इसके साथ तो आपने जबरदस्ती की ना, सास ने तो नहीं की, इसकी दादी ने. आपके साथ तो मुआशरे ने जुल्म किया था, इसके साथ तो मुआशरे ने जुल्म, इसके साथ तो आपने किया है. इसको तो आखिरत से बचाना था, मगर आखिरत की बिलीफ अंदर आई नहीं हुई थी. यू थॉट कि आखिरत में भी वही कुछ हो रहा होगा यहाँ पे, उधर भी नवाज शरीफ पावर में होगा, नाउज़ बिल्लाह. नहीं, उधर नवाज शरीफ पावर में नहीं होगा, अल्लाह की कसम नहीं होगा. उधर सिर्फ अल्लाह पावर में होगा, और उधर ये वाले लोग मारे जाएंगे. That's what the child asked. Who are the Muqarrabeen? Well, these were the Muqarrabeens. And this is what we are. Prophet told us that. He says, this is the best of the time human beings are going to see. Every time following this is going to be worse from the following, or the time before that. So every 100 years are going to be worse than the last 100 years. So no more Muqarrabeens coming just like that. Because we are in the worst of the worst. We're 1400 years after that. So you tell me, how many are we going to get? We're not going to get everybody. So what are we going to do? We're going to do this. Allah says in the Quran, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. That if his mommy, his daddy is not going to work on him, I am not going to give him any divine help. Nothing, sorry, zilch. I am not. Because Allah says, أنفسهم, plural. Qawm, plural. No help is coming. So what are we going to do? Well, how do I go back? Back. All right, can you go back on the first slide, please? First slide. This is not the first slide. You open a different... Yeah, no? There you go. Is this the... Go to the first slide. Yes. Here you go. So I'm going to give you a sequence, okay, a pattern. Look at the pattern. This is any one of them. First of all, local chapters, decentralized clusters all over the world. Okay? So it's not going to be everybody. So you're going to have to make your own clusters. From one Ali, one Khadija in your own home to going to the next Abu Bakr, the best friend, and then you're going to find Umars who are going to be very influential. You're going to find a lot of Saads who are going to have a lot of power. You're going to find a lot of Abdul Rahmans who are going to have a lot of money later. But first, you got to prove to your own Alis, you got to prove to your own Khadija that yes, you know what, I am the first drop of the rain. And that's when decentralized sections are going to start. And then all of a sudden, these little chapters are going to start to connect with each other. Now, this is a time when there was no internet. You are in the day where you create anything and you can actually knock on the door of Brazilian Muslims right away, right that very second. People in Anchorage, Alaska, people in Siberia are going to know that you know what you're up to and why do you want to do whatever you want to do. These are local chapters. But someone today is going to open some chapter today. Someone today, one or maybe two. And 1 week of no response and he's going to give up right there. 1 week of no activity, nothing, no validation, he's going to give up on his own chapter. I want to recite something in Urdu so that आपके दिमाग की नस पे लगे. अल्लाह के नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने इरशाद फरमाया कि अल्लाह ताला मुस्कुराते हैं. सहाबा ने कहा या रसूलल्लाह अल्लाह कब मुस्कुराते हैं? तो अल्लाह ताला के नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने इरशाद फरमाया कि अल्लाह ताला मुसलमान को टेस्ट करते हैं, मुसीबत से टेस्ट करते हैं और टेस्ट करते हैं यहाँ तक कि अल्लाह ताला फैसला करते हैं कि अब इसका टेस्ट ख़त्म और अब इसको मैं नवाजता हूँ इसके सब्र पे. इतने में वो सब्र छोड़ देता है. अल्लाह ताला उसे मुस्कुराते हैं कि अभी मैं तुझे देने लगा था और अभी तू नाशुक्री करके बागी हो गया. You became a rebel at the time and I'm about to provide for you. I just tested you once, twice, thrice, and the moment I was about to give you your return, you became a rebel and then you became ungrateful. You took arms against your own God every single time. That's when Allah smiles. Like this is where Allah says in the Quran, man is impatient. Human being is impatient. That he just does not have the perseverance. So who does not have the perseverance? A guy who looks for validation will never have perseverance. That's why I need high self-esteem. Because he does not look for anybody else's opinion. No one's going to shake him down. You have shakedowns in England, eh? No one's going to shake him down of his own philosophy. Why? Because he believes in the truth. So, once you have the chapter, where is it? Once you have a local chapter, it's going to grow into a global chapter of activism. Then you're going to become a lobby. 10 or 12 chapters coming together is a lobby. 100,000 chapters coming together is not just a lobby, it's a force. Force to reckon with, as Roshan put it. Force to reckon with. And as soon as you become a force to reckon with, all the low self-esteem people, if there are any, they raise their self-esteem because of the accumulative force. And they start boasting about it. It's called endowment effect. Even if I'm a poor player in a very good winning team, I still get to boast about, oh, this is my jersey. I'm in Arsenal. Even though I'm the worst player in Arsenal, but I get the dividends of everything Arsenal's going to do. Hence, I'm going to generate esteem through the brand. That comes on stage 3. But we do not have the patience to go through stage 1 or 2 because that's a very tough stage. You're going to have to convince people, talk to them, rationalize things, reason with them, reference things, logic, evidence. Can't just have emotional flurries and people are going to be like, oh, meri type ki aqidat hai iski. Aqidat doesn't count. Aqidah counts. So, here is the proof of how they became what they became. Here is the proof. By the way, the biggest force against climate change is American right wing itself. The biggest politicians are still against the climate change They actually believe in their philosophy that there is no such thing as, global warming and all that stuff. It's just hoopla, man. You're trying to make easy money, generate university funds and, create donation streams so that you can get some money. That's it. You're trying to play on emotions, get some votes in. They're still going strong. Actually stronger every day. And you think it matters whether the Republican America is against them? It doesn't matter. Because they're now enough in number. Nobody can actually shake them down now. That's why I want you guys to go through this. Same mechanism. What's the purpose? What's the purpose? Thy kingdom come is our purpose. You got to make sure everyone is protected. From Brazil to Siberia, from Fairbanks, Alaska to Auckland, New Zealand. Anyone gets oppressed, 2 billion Muslims are going to come in and protect you. That's only one and everybody's foreign policy. Imagine the kind of self-esteem that's going to flow through every Muslim household, every human being's household, from New Zealand to the Eskimos of Alaska, that they know there are 2 billion people community. Somebody messes with me and I am the oppressed, they're going to come in and fix this oppressor themselves. Imagine the power you're generating through every human being. And you don't need to be 2 billion, by the way. I'm telling you this right now. We've done the math. You can be as less as 20,000 in number. As less as 20,000. But on the right purpose, with the right flow, which means the purpose and esteem. And you're going to start the snowball. So big, so visible, that is going to go right in front of you to a size where you are going to see the change. And I'm talking about less than a decade, you can achieve whatever people have achieved in 30 or 40 decades, because there was no social media, there was no global connection, there was no visibility of whatever's going on in one part of the world. Yes, sir? Please, can we... God save the Queen. Who does not understand this slide? This is just statistics. From field rooms to engine rooms. From engine rooms to command rooms. Field rooms to engine rooms to command rooms. Let me give you a one-line vision. This girl, come here, Pita, come here. This girl, she's what, 8? Let me give you a vision. If you're not designing her on this vision, then you are not on the same page. This girl in the back seat of her own car with a laptop, in less than 5, how old are you, 8?
8.
Less than 7, okay, 10 years. Less than 10 years. She is being driven by some chauffeur or whatever. She goes in her own back seat of her car with a laptop on. And whatever she writes changes the foreign policy of at least 1 or 2 countries. That's when you've done your Muslim job right now in this day and age. You understand me? That's only when she's part of a command room. She's building engine rooms. She's already experienced in field rooms, clusters, talking to people logically with rationale and evidence. She does that, she's going to create her own engine rooms in Manchester and Miami and Manila simultaneously. Once she's done that, she's going to be part of some command room which is called a lobby. They'll respect her written word. They'll respect her logic. They'll respect what's the name of the girl that went to Palestine? Yeah, what's her name? Spell that for me. Greta, right? With the G. Greta. She's an English girl? Where's she from? Swedish. Amazing. Now, every time there's a Swedish convoy going to Palestine. Greta. Now, do you know, she is not in the field. She's not in any engine. She does not have any command room. She is just an influencer. You understand me? And imagine the kind of power that she can generate. I don't need Gretas here. I need girls with logic, with plan, with single purpose, connecting everybody and making sure that when she writes, things happen. Inshallah. There are 22,000 actual professors in England. Do you know that? Who's the young girl here? Student. What's your name? What's your name? What's her name? Okay, what's the word? Rumesa. Oh, okay. Rumesa, 22,000 professors in United Kingdom. 22,000. 9,200 of them are Jewish. They're doing a good job. You know how many Muslims? 90. And you know what are they teaching right now? Some of them, 13 of them are studying gender studies. 90, Rumesa, out of 22,000. Half of them are from one family, they're Jewish. When a family is raised properly, their sons and daughters become professors. They're doing a good job. Our Muslims, they do not become professors. 22% of all Nobel Prize Rumesa went to one family. You know how many Muslim Nobel Prizes? 2. You know why they got them? Because they got shot. Somebody shot them, everybody gave them a Nobel Prize. That's not how you're going to get your Nobel Prize, okay? You understand me? Imagine how we are hardwired into virtue signaling our weaknesses. So you need to be very careful. I'm very candid today. Actually, I'm not as candid as I usually am, I'm sure you know. But I'm still very candid because I don't want to boast your egos at the kind of performance Muslims are giving right now. We do not deserve that polish from any angle of this creature that we've developed as our ego. Because that's fake. That's just a show off. That's not real. That's hollow. Our performances everywhere are not just abysmal, they're actually damn right repugnant to the Quran, repulsive to any human being walking on this God's green earth. We better not be carrying ourselves with broad shoulders and stiff necks. We can do this right now. Our kids are going to do this. They're doing it right now. Close to 600,000 people are in IMS creating field rooms, waiting for the engine room. They're telling me to build an engine room for them. Imagine that, IMS. You're telling me that means still there's a lot of work to be done on your esteem. I should have gotten some engines from you guys. You're telling me to build an engine for them. Okay, I'll build them. I'm working on it. Because I know I have to work on it. I have to build. Everybody's got to build an engine. You know what an engine is, right? Money, politics, competence, IQ. That's an engine. That's what's called an engine. I'll show you an engine. This is an engine. Okay? Actually, I'm going to show you an engine and a command room. Engine room and a command room. This is what it looks like. Can you show me the presentation deck? I want to go straight to that slide. Kill it? Yeah. What's the last slide here? Just want to show you. Okay. Just please. Here you go. This is the effect of an engine. Okay? This is what an engine room looks like. Here you go. This is the command room. Command room. This is when Look at these names. By the way, there are twice as many in Trump's cabinet, by the way. Twice as many. Okay? This slide was made when my last tour. This is what an engine room looks like. This is what an engine room looks like. I am the biggest testament to the Jewish effort. You know why? That was our job. They're doing our job. Everyone is supposed to do this job for their community. It's only us who do not perform for the community. So don't start scolding these people and yelling against whatever slogan that you guys have. They're true believers of their own book. That's how change is done. So Palestine is not suffering from Israel. I swear to God, Palestine is suffering from the Muslim psychology. It's suffering from Pakistan or India or Saudi Arab or Yemen or Jordan or Syria. Palestine is suffering from this disease. Everyone is trying to save his own, and no one is trying to play the community. This is what a community looks like, an engine room looks like. That's when I said, now come here, Beta. Now you'll understand pre and post commercial, right? Now you'll understand when I said, this girl jumps into her car, opens her laptop, writes any article. Something big should change in the foreign policy, as much as a foreign policy, as low as a foreign policy, as much as a movement globally. This is Zarnab's. This is a girl. Look, girl. So don't play that gender card in front of me when you're a Muslim woman. इनकी भी सासें हैं, they are mother-in-laws. इनकी भी नंदे हैं, सारी डाइने हैं. हर नंदी होती है ना. Look, बेचारी मजलूम. इसके घर पे चूल्हा फट गया था एक दफ़ा, बड़ी मुश्किल से बची थी ये. इसकी तो सास ने जादू किया हुआ इसको, तभी तो ये ज़्यादा वोट नहीं ले सकी. This is what a community looks like. So, when I say engine rooms, I mean people with credibility, people with eloquence, which is called grammar, and people with their homework. When they have done their research, when they open their mouth, sense comes out. Okay? And whenever you're going to find anyone, when he or she opens their mouth and sense comes out, you are going to fight tooth and nail to make sure that person speaks in front of you again. That's human nature. Wherever he's speaking, you're going to get there. That's called virality. That's called followership. That is not in our hands. That's how God designed us. Whoever's speaking sense, people make sure he keeps speaking. That's what our kids need to do. And this let me show you something. Let me show you something. Here, look at this. As a parting gift, I give you this. This is where you guys are from. Pakistan, India. Okay, you know what this is? People working on the message of Quran about space sciences. When Allah in the Quran says, work, لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. Open your mind and see why Allah is talking to you the way He's talking to you. The signs of Allah in the heavens. Go and see. Decipher and decode, translate and enrich the people. And you know what? Who's doing it? This is where you are. This is Manchester, by the way. This is Manchester. Can't even see it in the jungle. of knowledge. Can't even see any Manchester here. This is where you are. This is where you came from. A desert, so barren, you can count leaves in there of ignorance. Cacti, of course, cacti leaves. Look at this. Muslim land. Muslim, 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 Muslim. Saying America is a kafir. America is a kafir. This is America. You know? Palestine is a, criminal. Israel is a criminal. Israel is a criminal. Okay? What are you going to do about it? Nothing. We're not going to do anything about it. We're going to say stuff about it, which is not even going to make sense. That's why no one's going to follow. So, this is how a field room is created. You want to prepare her for a command room? First prepare her for a field room. She better have the right degrees at the right time, right knowledge, the right amount. Be found in places where it matters. This is where change is being done. Nobody is stopping us to write papers. By the way, IMS, hopefully, is in write its third paper to be published, inshallah. International Journal of Physics. Our first paper got published. From a man in Multan. And you know what that paper is? Faster than the speed of light. He's proved the theorem. So we are developing that, inshallah. Rieman's equation is being theorized right now. Right now of mathematics. And when Riemann's theorem comes in, that actually completes the puzzle for me, mathematics and physics. This is, by the way, mathematics and physics. So you just need one proof of concept, everybody starts to flow. One drop of the rain, snowball starts. And if people in Pakistan are writing it, why are your kids in Manchester still trying to say, you know what? Let me find out another way around this system. हर मैनचेस्टर वाले की यही कहानी मुझे खुद बताया उन्होंने कितने बच्चे हैं सर क्या मतलब कितने बच्चे हैं मल्टीप्लाइड बाय दिस डिवाइडेड बाय दिस इक्वल्स टू वेलफेयर सर This is Great Britain. That's the utility of Great Britain. I'm telling you, I'm honest, man. I'm a Muslim. I'm not going to hide it. If I were King Charles, I'd be kicking out some Pakistanis myself. If not all. The way we're performing, I'm not going to hide it. So, आपको पता है पाकिस्तान में I'll do that in English, especially for the Canadians. Do you know how many people in Pakistan are living on government welfare in Pakistan? Do you know that? That's a goodbye gift for this session. Think about it. In Pakistan, how many people are in government welfare? Who knows the answer to this question in Manchester? In Pakistan. I did not say England. I said Pakistan. I didn't say if there was a system or not. बेनज़ीर इनकम सपोर्ट प्रोग्राम नहीं है क्या हो गया आपको क्या पाकिस्तान में बच्चे मुफ्त स्कूल में नहीं पढ़ते पाकिस्तान में अस्पताल मुफ्त नहीं है मुफ्त है 100% मुफ्त है 2 रुपए की पर्ची बनती है अभी भी स्कूल की फीस पता है कितनी है पाकिस्तान में 5 रुपए महीना can't even do the math on converting into pounds. There is no currency in 1 pence equals to what? 30 rupees? 40 rupees now. 1 pence. 10 रुपए होगी अब जी जी इतनी है और इतनी है 100 रुपए तक नहीं गई नहीं और चले 100 ले लें 100 ले लें 1 pence 2 pence right you got it pence right not a penny 2 pence you need to understand I didn't ask you how many people are on welfare in England. I said how many people are on welfare in Pakistan. So this does not happen, I'm sorry. This does not happen on welfare. I apologize. This does not, it cannot happen. And we're talking about, go to the first slide again, to my pyramid. We're talking about field rooms, we're talking about engine rooms. You want to put Zarnab in an engine room? Oh my God, a command room? हर चीज़ बता देता हूँ अंग्रेज़ी में, ये जो जुमला मैं उर्दू में बोल दूँगा. नॉटिंगहैम में मुझसे पूछा था, सर आज इकबालियात पे लेक्चर दें, इकबाल की खुदी सिखाएं. एंड आई सेड सर, इकबाल की खुदी हर एक को मिल सकती है, हर एक जगह पे आ सकती है, मगर इकबाल की खुदी वेलफेयर पे नहीं आ सकती. Okay? You need to understand, self-esteem will not come on welfare. This is a rule. I know. Oh, this actually is written in an English accent, for God's sakes. G. Last questions. This is it. Field room, everybody's in. Engine room, competent people start to get filtered in. Command room, all the people who matter in terms of their IQ, research work, their career paths, their business. That's why we have 28 different pillars in IMS. And I'm not here selling IMS because IMS is for free. You cannot pay me for IMS. You come into IMS, I'm not going to make any money. No one makes money, a dime in IMS. So when I say IMS, it means Muslim business, not English business. You got to make clusters now. You got to connect and you got to inspire people, not impress. Inspire. Okay? There are 4 categories. Yatlu alayhim ayat, wa yuzakkihim, wa yuallimhum al-kitab wal hikmah. 4 different categories you're going to work on. Yatlu alayhim ayat is natural sciences, physics, mathematics, chemistry, biology. Yuallimhum al-kitab is political science, which actually matters way more at times now than mathematics and physics. Because all the people of physics and mathematics are still under the policy of people who are running the political science. Okay, and hikmah is methodology. This is our version of the hikmah of the current time, of what Muslims require. This is hikmah, from this room to this room. And then, yuzakkihim, the moral quality of a man. Only you can make the moral quality. I'm sorry, I cannot lecture any man into tazkiyah. I cannot. You got to punish him and reward him at the right times from the Quran so that he can actually have a moral acumen and power, and expose him in situations and put him into the deeper part of the pool so that he can actually gain some muscle that, yeah, you know what, my father and my mother pushed me out of the nest and gave me the principle and punished me when it was required, rewarded me when it was due, so that he can do the same whenever he's going to have the chance. So moral acumen is something else. This is something which that's a prerequisite, by the way. I'm not going to talk about moral acumen. That's a given, right? Once you have that, that's when I need you guys to come in now. Connect Manchester together. I'm giving you a target right now. I believe that if you cannot measure, you cannot manage. So I'm going to give you a measure. I'm going to give you a target of only 10,000 Muslims in Manchester, by the way. You got to connect 10,000 people together, opening discussions, talking logically, making presentations, teaching us. I'll pay them. If you want me to put them on payroll, I'll pay them. I will literally pay them for every lecture. Bring them together. Everyone studying, everyone expressing, everyone talking about policies, processes, and politics. Whoa, whose kid is this? Huh? What's your name? What's your name? Doesn't speak English? Whose kid is this? Why are you not teaching him English? Seriously, Neelam? No English? No English? Español? ¿Tú hablas español? Chale, koi baat nahi. It's all right. Urdu, English doesn't matter. So, any questions till now? Any questions? Yes, sir. Last few questions only, okay? We gotta vacate the premises. Before somebody comes in and pulls me out, thank you so much for your patience. It's not easy listening to a speaker like me. I'm not apologizing for it. I'm thanking you for it, okay? Ji sir. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Sir, I cannot hear you properly.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, but it's a little on the muffled side. Yeah, go on.
It makes sense. Alhamdulillah, exactly what you were saying earlier. I just want a small aspect of clarification.
Yeah, punch
I
you.
was actually getting involved in political parties as a member of parliament.
You are?
No, I'm not. I'm asking a question.
No, it's not going to work. No, that's not what I'm recommending. Ballot paper politics is not what I'm recommending. But even if you have to go there, I wouldn't mind. It's not like a sin. What I'm saying is, when you are in, you have a community of 10,000 people strong coming in as business people, lawyers, doctors, educationists, teachers, and degrees with Cambridge and Oxford backing you up. And even if you do not have all, everyone's not going to be from Cambridge or Oxford, right? So business community coming together, but on a single purpose. Then you don't need ballot paper mayors and politicians to validate you. You already are a power. Everybody knows that. You know how I know that? Because you know Mark Zuckerberg, because he has a Facebook community. Have you ever paid for Facebook? No. And still Mark Zuckerberg became a billionaire. You didn't even pay him a single pence. Have you ever thought about this? People who started Bitcoin, still a cluster, a community, is just a field room, and the guy became a trillionaire, and he's a force to reckon with. So if you come together and you have regular discussion, and I'm not talking about discussion of, you know what, about petty politics or domestic issues. I'm talking about global. Because if you're not aiming for Miami and Manila at the same time, I don't care what happens in Manchester then. Because then you're becoming a cancer. You got to connect everybody. And everyone is going to give you their sons and daughters, because you're developing people. You're discussing real, logical, you know, and written, thesis. And if this girl and boy is not prepared on writing papers, because that's what we're doing in source code. Source code is a school, right? Source code is part of the IMS ecosystem, where we are training mathematics so that they can write their paper. Not that they can learn algebra, but they can express the universe in algebra. They can theorize the Quran. It's called the Ultimate Mathematics, the book written on the Quran, mathematics of the Quran. Mathematics of the Quran. Why are we teaching them? Because we know mathematics leads to physics, physics leads to inventions and trademarks and patents. That leads to power. If you're not creating IQ in your people, then you're creating a bomb for somebody else to blow on you. Okay? So you got to generate the IQ. And that's why I said, if you came to England for just the British pound sterling, then I'm sorry. You have esteem issues. But if you came for Cambridge and Harvard, hats off to you. I'm going to pay for the, for the scholarship for your kids. I know. I'm sure there are some people. But I want to change the purpose here. Cambridge is a religious institute right now with the kind of quality of mathematics and physics it's offering right now. And I'm not saying all faculties. I'm just talking about these two, because I know, I measure them. In Canada, only one university lives up to the standards. In England, there are 6. There used to be way more, though, by the way. There's only 6 now. The drop in quality, because there's so much going on around academia. What I'm saying is, utilize England for the IQ. Maybe 10 years from now, and I'm telling you, this child most probably is not going to go to any university. At that time, current education system is not going to survive. He's going to have self-designed teachers who are going to design him on his own needs based on whatever line he's actually on at that time. I know how psychologists are actually looking at AI modeling right now. No more degrees, no more nothing. So right now the quality is there. Use it. Juice Cambridge and Oxford. Make sure mathematics and physics and chemistry, political science flows through you. 13 UN amendments. 13 UN amendments. The Norwegian foreign policy, the Swedish foreign policy is done by who? One Englishman who was a Cambridge professor. He's 58. He's not even there for long. He's not Kissinger or Chomsky or anything. He's an amazing student of the political science. Norway is not a Jewish country. Why are they listening to this guy? Because this guy makes sense. So aim for the purpose. Don't just believe in it, aim for it. Prepare and launch our kids. That you know what? We are going to prepare competent Muslims. And competence is not enough, I told you. Bringing them together. If you're making competent Muslim, it's going to frustrate him. Bring them to teach them the skills of networking. We are teaching them right now. IMS is that platform. And IMS shouldn't be the only platform. Make your own. I'll route IMS to you, your platform. I mean, it's not like a title or a tag is necessary for anybody. Yes, anybody else? Homeschooling, inshallah. I'm going to be coming to Birmingham, inshallah. I'm going to be coming to London, actually London a few times. The dates are going to be on your screen. We're going to be talking about homeschooling in particular in a totally different setting. This is a public session. Homeschooling, I'm only taking parents to train them on homeschooling. We're going to unleash our version of homeschooling, which you can subscribe to. Listen, if you can arrange a cluster, I'll come there. Arrange a cluster. Arrange a cluster which can be proven on paper. Okay? I can come to Preston or Bolton. So homeschooling is coming in September as an option for all those people who are focused on challenging this education system. That's my primary motive, because this current education school system drops the IQ by more than 20 points. I need IQ here. I need very high IQ. I need at least 150 plus. That's why I'm parenting and homeschooling workshops are being done in Birmingham. I'm coming to Milton Keynes. I'm coming to London on the 19th. When is the parenting thing? 19th in London, inshallah. And the public session is? Public London 30th? 6th of February. Ji, homeschooling, aapka jo question hai. What is homeschooling? We're going to describe in that day. It's an 8-hour thing, or a 5-hour thing. I'm not going to give you an answer in 5 hours. Let me show you if I, no, you know what, I'm not going to show you. I'll give it to you. That's what I said. If you're not, first I got to school you so that your kids could be homeschooled. Listen, homeschooling community is in millions in the world, okay? I think the biggest homeschooling community, if I'm not wrong, is in England, okay? Look it up, okay? And they are way more brittle in their belief. They challenge because of whatever they believe in. You don't want to put your kids in homeschooling because, you know what, I am too tired, I should, or my kid does not, I don't want my child to become gay or lesbian. That's just a symptom of what the education system is. The big problem of the education system is the way it's going to dumb our kids down. They've already done that, okay? So I just asked the first question, A plus B whole square, ki application bataएं? किसी को क्यों नहीं आती? The education system is not designed to show you utility, okay? So we had to design our curriculum. My homeschooling means my curriculum. You'll see of how in 5 years we can actually train from zero to PhD in mathematics, physics, chemistry, and computational biology. And it should have been done for us. I don't know why we didn't, well, I know why, because there's so much money in education. एक इतनी सी किताब 12 साल पढ़ानी हो, इतने पैसे मिल, why would anyone crash it in 5 years, right? I mean, it's a very capitalistic solution that they came up with. But I am not going to fall for it, okay? So in 5 or 6 years, you from zero to postdoctorate program, competence in mathematics or physics or STEM fields, especially in the Quran, then I'm sorry. There is no other way there is no other option. Now, I know most of the parents are going to use my home schooling as a tuition rather than, then it's okay. First, let them taste it. Then they'll be like, you know what, apni marzi ka time, apni marzi ke schedules, or sports mandatory, social activities mandatory, jo hum hi arrange kar rahe hain. So people are going to offer it later. Right now, we are not going to say yes to everyone. We're qualifying only 300 people per city. इससे ज़्यादा ले ही नहीं रहा मैं. क्या आपकी अम्मी इस काबिल ही नहीं हुई, अब बुक तो होम स्कूलिंग तो बच्चे को रिएक्ट कर देगी, वो डिप्रेशन में डाल दोगे बच्चे को कि पता नहीं हो क्या रहा है ये मेरे साथ. ऐसे नहीं होने दूंगे. पहले अम्मा अब्बा तैयार होंगे फिर होम स्कूलिंग में आएंगे. ओके जी सर. वालेकुम सलाम.
I'm supportive of your general thrust and what you're trying to achieve. I've got no problems with that. Alhamdulillah, that's very good.
However,
I've also done, however. There's no however. I've also done some work in some areas like this. I've put presentations together to guide the ulama how to deal with some of the threats we face, ideological, like LGBT, secularism and stuff like that. Some of your examples you give, I think they're a bit disconnected from what your aim is. And I don't want to take your time here.
No, give me an example.
No, if you've got 10 minutes, I can share with you some of my stuff to help you.
Oh, for sure. Oh, please do. That's exactly what I want everyone to see. This is what I need. Written word, work, research, gain, IQ. Everybody's accumulative IQ has to go up. Please, sir, raise our IQ. Okay? Not just give it to me, but give it to all IMS. So first you start with me, obviously. Cause
no, but it's freely available on the internet. I will share it.
No, but we do not have freely available speakers. People are not going to log into something which they don't even know exists, right? So I need you to be on the center stage so that it will motivate people to come in. This initiative is missing in Muslims, okay? So please do. Any kind of correction right now would mean a lot more than to correct it later on. And you know what? Most of the damage is done by me. Anything else? Guys, again, Jazakallah khair kathira. May we all have a single purpose and we develop each other's esteem so that we can actually, be together in the day of judgment with big smiles on our face, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.